Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time to dive back into Autonauts, a game I've played years ago but it wasn't quite finished back then. Yesterday I stumbled across it once again and nostalgia got the better of me, so here we are playing the game Autonauts in its full release. We're gonna build a robotically automated paradise for a bunch of oddly lazy people to eventually build a flourishing society that doesn't have to lift a finger. Here we are, this is my little guy that I can control, and here we have our monument, aka the transmitter. First things first, let's go ahead and explore the surroundings a little bit so we know what we're dealing with. And I'm just gonna do a couple of squares here. I would suggest we're gonna get things started right here. We need access to wood and very soon also to stone. So let's open up the build menu and hit the crude workbench. I'm gonna place this guy right here, and I'm also gonna build a bot assembly unit right there. We need to bring along some materials, 2 logs and 2 sticks in this case. So let's just go ahead, grab 1 log, bring it over there. And we're also gonna pick up some sticks. Wonderful. And as soon as I got the materials, the workbench is being built. We're gonna click it and select the crude axe recipe. We just need 1 stone and 1 stick to fulfill this, and the tools actually come with a durability. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pick up a couple of stones in order to bring them over right there. Now I can build my crude axe. It is coming out here. We're gonna pick it up. I now have it in my active slot with Q. I can put it in my backpack so I have the space to pick something up, but right now we just want to go ahead and chop some trees. In order to build the bot assembly unit, we need 3 planks. In order to get some planks, we can just hit a log with the axe right there. Now I got my 2 planks, put them in here. I'm gonna be needing 1 more. Just 1 more log to go, and I got my bot assembly unit. Very important to get the bots running right off the bat. To build 1 robot, we're gonna need 1 log, 3 planks, 1 pole, and 1 tree seed. We get the poles by hitting the planks, so we can go from log to planks to poles. Also gonna need a tree seed that we just get from harvesting the trees. Wonderful, got all my materials for the first robot. Now in this mode, the settlement mode, we don't actually need to charge up the robots, so that is 1 step that we can skip. To program a robot, we have to whistle with the spacebar and click the robot. I can give this guy a name, let's call it Forestry bot. I'm then gonna make sure I'm in the stage that I want to be. So with an axe in my hand, I'm gonna hit the record button and click a tree. This is gonna then start programming the robot. So it is gonna find the nearest tree in a certain area, move to the target, and then use the axe. Now I do want to move this area a little bit so it covers this part. Hit OK. And then we want to make sure the robot is doing this forever. So it's gonna do this in a loop for as long as they have an axe. If I hit the play button now, he's gonna complain about not having an axe. And for now, I can provide it by right-clicking on the robot while I have an axe in my hand. Of course, now we have to take care of replanting all of these trees. Very important. So I'm just gonna go ahead and build another robot for myself. Of course, to accomplish this, I need another axe, so I can go ahead and smash up a bunch of planks. There is my second robot. I want to make sure I build a shovel for them. Pick up that shovel, and now we're gonna teach this robot, which is gonna be the digger bot. I wanna record and then just dig a hole. And I want to change the area here as well. And we want to do it in a checkerboard pattern. Let's see, right there, checkerboard. We're gonna be doing this forever as well. Hit the play button, and then we just need to give them a shovel. In order to plant the trees, we have to actually bury the acorns. Once we get better robots, we can make them do multiple tasks, but for now, we just have to build 1 robot for 1 task. There's my new robot. It's gonna be the planter bot. Hit record. We just want to pick up a tree seed. We want to do it in the same area as all the other stuff. Hit repeat and just do that forever. Wait a second, the planting part is missing. We also want to plant in the same area. Let's move this, and this needs to go in the forever part, just like that. Now they're first gonna pick up a seed and plant it in any of the holes that are currently existing. And with that, we already completed our first plan. By just doing regular stuff, we actually progress and get new stuff unlocked. So right now we also have access to the chopping block, which is necessary in order to automate some of the forestry processing. And I think I want to do this properly by setting up some storages. So let's say this is going to be the storage for my logs. I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to have a storage for my planks and then another one for the poles. I then want to set up a chopping block right here. here. Can I do that? Yeah, I just have the space to do so. So we have 2 chopping blocks, 1 for each task. It is now nighttime, but that means nothing for us. We're just gonna keep going. There's my first storage. I'm gonna build a robot right away that is gonna pick up all of the logs and bring them right there. Dear Mr. Log Pickup Bot, record. I want you to pick up a log, define the area as we did, and then I want you to bring it over to the storage. Just like that. Wonderful. Do this forever. Thank you very much. I went ahead and built an additional robot, and I'm actually going to teach this one to mine some stone. So stone miner bot, hit record. There's some stone right here. Actually, do I have the pickaxe? Yes, in my hand. We're now gonna limit this area to 5 by 5. And I want you to do this forever as well. In the meantime, we collected enough logs to make this a little bit quicker. I'm gonna build the workbench now. The chopping block right here, that is gonna be responsible to build the planks. We can then have a robot actually do that and directly store them here. Now building the second chopping block, we're gonna use that to build the poles. And now the process becomes a lot more streamlined. We just need to hire 2 more robots. Now, I also don't need to carry an axe in my inventory anymore. There's my next robot. We're gonna teach this guy to make a plank. So hit the record button. First, we need to pick up a log from here. Then we need to bring it to the chopping block. Once the action is done, we want to pick up the planks. So let's just pick up 1 plank. And instead of doing the other plank right away, I think what we need to do is add a repeating action here because we only have 4 kilobytes left. So we're gonna do that not until hands are full, but until, yeah, let's just do like 2 because we know we get 2 out of the chopping block action. Once we've done this 2 times, we want to go ahead, put this into the storage, and we want to do this until our hands are empty. So let's set this until hands are empty. And then we have just 1 single kilobyte free in order to put an infinity loop here. That should theoretically work. Let's actually see it in action. He's grabbing a log, putting it right there on the chopping block. Then hopefully picking up both of the planks. That's 1 and 2. Oh, no, he did not do the second one. Ah, I see. Find nearest plank should also be in the repeater section here. Of course, it's not going to work otherwise. Now we need the exact same robot, but this one is going to be a pole bot. Just picking up a plank, putting it into the chopping block, picking up the pole and putting it into the storage. We want to pick up the pole 2 times right there and then move it into the storage until hands are empty. Repeat everything and go. Wonderful. Now we pretty much automated the entire forestry industry except for the tool making as well as picking up the sticks and tree seeds. In order to do that, I'm gonna set up a bunch of crates. Let me see. I want to do one here for the sticks, one for the stones, as well as the tree seeds, of course. There's another plank completed that should give us another unlock. The crates only require 4 planks and 4 poles, which now is easy. Got my 3 crates. I'm already gonna reserve them with the item. We got some sticks over here. And then, of course, the stones for the 3rd crate. That means we now need 3 robots taking care of that. Let me just quickly build 3 of these bastards. So we got the stone bot, the stick bot, and the seed bot. Just hit record and all they gotta do is pick up whatever they need to pick up. For the forestry stuff, it's gonna be this area, but obviously the stone stuff is gonna be on the top. Now, if we do this right, we can actually pick up until our hands are full. And I'm gonna do this in the same 5 by 5 area. And then move back to the crate, store the stone until hands are empty again. And then we want to rinse and repeat for this robot forever. Thank you. There's another plan completed with the basic stone stuff. And we now unlock the backpack, which is quite useful. We now built enough robots to also progress in that tier. We can now build crude gears leading to better robots. Wonderful. Now all the items of the forestry industry are automated, which means we need to reprogram a bunch of our robots. In particular, I'm talking about the seed guy right now. Instead of finding the nearest tree seed, they now should go ahead and pick up the seed from the storage. And they should do that until their hands are full. That means we can get rid of this stuff. Once their hands are full, they should go ahead, find the holes and plant the seeds until hands are empty and then rinse and repeat that. So we're actually taking from the storage and that makes a lot more sense. Now it would be good to have access to the various tools, say a axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel. There are my 3 storages. I should be able to teach this robot to craft an axe. However, we probably need separate crude workbenches for that. Yeah, I should have built them in a more reasonable way. Well, I think we'll be moving this industry sooner or later either way. So for now, I'm just gonna build it here. Maybe we're just gonna have this here at the top. I think that would make sense. Okay, gonna build it up here. We have a pickaxe, a shovel, and this one is gonna be the crude axe. We want the axe bot to basically pick up a stick, bring it over there, and then pick up a stone, bring it over there. Then once the tool has been built, we want to pick up the tool and put it in the storage. Oh no, we don't have enough kilobytes to do that. There's another plan completed, but I think we might have to wait until we get a little bit of an upgraded robot in order to do the more complex tasks. Either way, we already finished the first stage here, the infrastructure, so now we could introduce our first humans, which certainly sounds intriguing. So I think for now I'm just gonna build the tools myself until we get the better robots. However, now that we have the tools, we can still teach the robots to pick them up properly. So instead of just hacking away and assuming they have a pickaxe, I want them to pick them up here in the storage. Hit record, pick up that pickaxe, and you do that right here. And we have to add a little condition, so they don't always do that, but they should do that until hands are not empty. So if that condition is true right off the bat, that means they already have the pick in their hands. And once that is the case, they're gonna find the nearest stone deposit and use the item. Just do that forever, please. Thank you. I'm gonna reprogram my digger bot as well in the same manner, and the forestry bot, of course, too. Okay, I cleaned up a little bit and I increased my storages. You can stack them up to 3 times, as you can see here. And then there's one more thing I changed with the forestry bot. I said until log storage is full, so you can switch that to the storage and then just choose the storage by clicking it. So until the log storage is full, this code is going to be executed, and then when the log storage is full, I don't want the trees to be harvested anymore, just as a little precaution. Good, now it's time to take care of the folk dispenser. We want to create some folks, and in order to do that, we need a folk seed dispenser. Gonna place this here for now, and we also need an incubator. We can craft a crude gear right here. We just need 1 plank to do so. There's the folk seed dispenser. Let's finish the incubator here as well. Just requires 4 more poles. I think what I'm gonna do is quickly set up a storage here for my gears, and then I'm gonna teach this robot right here. You want to grab 1 plank and just bring it over to the gear. Then we want to pick up the gear and put it into the storage. I don't think I have enough kilobytes to do this more effectively, so we're just going to do this forever. That's the crude gear bot right there. We can simply produce a folk seed by just clicking this thing. This doesn't actually require any resources, and now we need to feed this. Now I presume we need to go ahead and pick some berries, and we need a stick or flail to beat the bush. Got myself another robot here. You're the berry bot. I want you to go ahead and pick up a stick whenever your hands are not empty. And then with the stick, I want you to beat the bush right there. Okay, we can move the area slightly to cover more bushes. And then I simply want you to repeat this forever. Okay, berries need to be stored in a crate. And I think I just saw a bird picking my berries, so I gotta watch out for that. Gonna teach this next bot to pick up some berries. Unfortunately, all the berries have been taken away. We definitely need a scarecrow or something, but we're now going to beat another bush, so I'm gonna teach this robot to pick up the berries as quickly as possible. Pick those guys up and bring them over to the storage, okay? We're gonna pick up berries until hands are full and then bring them to the storage until they're empty. Either way, now I should be able to just pick up the berries and then feed them here into the folk incubator. And it looks like we need about 5 or 6 berries. That's another 3. Yeah, it's 5 berries in total. Here we go. And I think our first folk should be born right this moment. Kaiserschmarrn, it's called. And I think for now, I'm just gonna bring them over here. We need to build some housing for them, right? There's also the bot database. I think right here we can start to copy some programs, so we don't have to do each robot individually. So this folk right here, I guess just wants some berries. Let's see if we can feed them. Okay, now they are somewhat happy. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with 3 folk for the time being. And will you look at that? Because we made them happy just slightly, they gave us some love. Absolutely amazing. This is just the stuff we needed. We need to go ahead, build another crate for the wolf. And I think this is part of the task we have to do. Yeah, just store that. And there it is. There's my second folk. I'm gonna bring them over there as well. With that, we finished another task. We get some signs that actually help us control bot areas and more. I just fed Babka right here, and you can see how they are producing the wolf. And of course, with every level, they get a little bit more demanding. I just need to produce one more, and we're done with the task here. Hopefully that is going to give us something good. The crude scooter. This can make me faster. I take that, and a crude wheel. Stage 3, isolated dwelling. Now it's all about science farming, basic wheat farming, simple kitchen, and shelter. It's time to craft a scooter, for which I need 2 crude wheels. So let's craft that first. There's my 2 wheels. Oh no, I can already tell this is gonna hurt driving. But here we go, all the materials for my pretty scooter. Wait a second, with I can pick this up and put it over there. And I should be faster now. Okay, let's now go ahead and build the Wonder 5 database thingy-ma-job. Yeah, that was a lot of materials, but here we go. Welcome to the bot database. While I'm at it, I'm also gonna go ahead and make a backpack for myself. There we go. I can go ahead, equip this here, and I should be able to carry more items. I now need another robot right here that is gonna feed the people. So you're gonna pick up some berries from here, okay? And I want you to do that until your hands are full, and then we feed them over there to the folk, and we do that until hands are empty. And then we keep on doing this forever and ever. Let's see. Yeah, feeding the folk. I'm then gonna need another robot that will pick up the wolf. We're gonna be the wolf pickup bot. Pick up all the stuff right here until hands are full, and put it in the storage until hands are empty. Rinse and repeat. Go. Good. Now let's see if we can rearrange stuff in a slightly better way. What happens if I just dig this up here? I do create something. Ooh, actually I can pick this up and probably plant it somewhere else. Oh, I totally put the backpack slot into the wrong thing, but now it's right, and I got my turfs right here. So can I just pick up this berry bush and maybe plant it in a better way? That would be great. No, wait, it just disappears. Okay, we might have another way. If we quickly stop the feed bot right here, give me the berries. Where are the berries? Maybe, just maybe, I can dig a hole here and then plant the berries. That would be optimal. Berries, plant. Oh my gosh, it works. Amazing. I love it. So now we know what we have to do. Plant and relocate berry bushes. I'm gonna get started with a 4x4 area, but this is really good news that we can just relocate everything the way we want to. This also means I'm probably gonna move my initial location so I can have it a little bit more organized. But for now, I'm just gonna make 4 patches of 3x3 berries. There's the official fruit planning completed. We got a billboard. Alrighty, I pretty much automated everything, including the tool making. I just divided it up with multiple bots. So now some of them are crafting each of the tools, and the other ones are storing it in the storage bin. So with this new knowledge that I can pretty much rearrange everything, I'm probably gonna have my tree area right here on this side of the transmitter. Over time, we will have to add more bots that do the same thing. For instance, with the berries. Looks like we cannot quite keep up right now. Either way, we have this new contraption here, the research station. Let's go ahead and have a look at it. In here, I can research certain things, such as the cooking technology, the robotics technology, and the shelter technology. Let's go for the shelters first. So maybe it would be a good idea to move this over here so I don't have to walk too far. Actually, this is taking a while to just process the wolf, so it would be best to build another robot. Now, let me see. Maybe we can automate the robot making as well. We should probably do that. Though it is already convenient right now to produce them. We have the wolf processor bot. You want to pick up some wolf. Do that until hands are full and process them in here until hands are empty. That's all we really have to do for this bot. Thank you very much. And over time I will unlock the shelter technology. And I made a little robot that is gonna dig out the soil for me for a potential tree farm. Wonderful, we just completed the technology and we get access to the crude hut. We're gonna move these guys later on. For now I'm just gonna place them down. Might be easier to just build them here, so I'm near the log storage. Much better, oh my gosh. Now we should be able to just pick them up and put them in the crude hut right there. And just like that, they are now level 2. Nice. Let's keep going with the technologies. The robotics technology. Maybe we can get some nice upgrades. Ah, I see the problem now. They are not eating the berries anymore. They need some upgraded food. So until we got that, we should not shelter them. Whoa, another research completed. We now have a data storage, backpack upgrades for the robots, and then I think parts for a better robot and some sensors. Oh, this is gonna be nice. Basic bot workbench. I'm gonna go ahead and build that workbench right away. It's definitely what we need. There it is, all basic materials, and we can build all the various bot parts. We can upgrade our bots with some extra memory, or we can give it a power upgrade so it can hold more items. Sure, let's go ahead and build one of these robots. See how the process goes. Okay, now the only question is, how do I assemble this new robot? Ah, still in the bot assembly unit. I just choose the upgraded bot and now I can input all the various parts. Sure, we can totally automate this so we can have a ton of robots. The only question is, can I store it in here? No. So I think what we should do is set up an assembly unit for each of the robot parts, and then we just need a bunch of crates to store them, and as a last step we can assemble the robots ourselves just using the crates. I think I just noticed the robots are actually stopping once the condition is fulfilled, so once the crate is full, for instance for the pickaxe bot, but I actually don't want them to shut off. So additionally to that, I will also have to add the repeat function there. Said and done, I got my new crafting station. Let's also do the last remaining research here. The cooking stuff. Right here we're gonna build the torsos and the drive. Now we just need robots that can actually take care of it. Let's see, this one here has now 16 kilobytes and I could upgrade it if necessary, but we do generally want the new robots, right? So this is the robot head bot. We pick up a tree seed, put it in here. We pick up a plank and put it in there again. This results in a robot head that we can pick up and then store in this crate. And then we just rinse and repeat it, and the robot is gonna come to a halt once there's no storage space left. And now I just need to rinse and repeat that for the other two parts and we should be good. And then eventually we can replace all of our previous slow robots. Ah, there it is, the new recipe, spiced berries inside the crude mixing pot. Let's set up a crude mixing pot here, just 6 planks and 1 pole. And inside we have the new recipe with berries and some weeds. I now got the robots taking care of the torso and the head. However, the drive requires 3 materials and therefore we need more kilobytes. So it's time to build another bot workbench to craft our first upgrade. And it's going to be a brain upgrade with 2 tree seeds and 2 poles. We can pick this up and we should be able to give this to our bot. Where is it? This one here, the robot drive bot. I want to give him the brain upgrade right there. There's actually the space for another upgrade if we wanted to. And now we have 8 kilobytes free to pick up the drive and put it into the storage bin. And that still allows us to then set this in a forever loop. Wonderful. So now we're automatically crafting the robots. I just have to do the last stage where I assemble them right here, but that should make things a lot easier in the future. Let's put this to the test right away. Here's my next robot. I want you to cut up some grass, for instance. That would be great. You're the grass bot, and for that we actually need a shovel in our inventory so we can do the grass. And you know what? Maybe we can even do this here on the top. That should be good. And before I forget, we should obviously pick up a shovel as well. I accidentally made a couple too many axes. What can I say? By digging up the grass, what do we get? Some cut grass. Okay, maybe I have to find the weeds somewhere else. Let me see. Oh yeah, there we go. There are literal weeds. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is clean everything up a little bit, maybe move the forestry area to make everything more convenient, and then I'm gonna check whether or not I can move the weeds so I can grow them in a more convenient spot. Okay, I think we're ready to dive into the next stage. I took myself the liberty of rearranging rearranging almost everything, I realized my layout wouldn't really work out in the end, and the sooner I changed it, the better. Now I have all my farms at the ready, expandable once we get there. I also made a whole bunch of teams, so for instance I have my forestry robots in one group. I also have some robot crafting, some tool crafting, and the wheat group. There's also a berry group, but I haven't really taken care of them just yet. Well, I guess the berry bot can go in here. Then there's the berry pickup bot. I guess I still have to change the wheat pickup bot, which should be right there. And so now we've taken care of everything. We can get to finally cooking. I need another robot. I believe I still have one that doesn't have anything to do. Yeah, it's this one right here. I used them to do some chores. I need this robot to make spiced berries. Record, and all I need is some berries right there. Pick that up and put it into the bowl. And then we also pick up some wheat and put that into the mixing pot as well. Now, when it comes to the berries, we actually need 4 of them. So we should also take 4. Since we have 4 slots, we can just do until the hands are full. Actually, let's just be specific here, 4 times, so I know what I'm talking about. And we want to add it to the mixing pot also 4 times. Next up, I need another storage that I'm gonna put right here for now. My forestry area, by the way, is now all the way over here, which is good. I need to unlock the fences and pathways to give this a little bit more structure. But there we go. We have the storage. We just need to grab 3 more berries, add that to the mixing pot. We are cooking and we should be getting a nice meal, spiced berries. So back to the robot, we want to pick those up and put that into the storage, right? And we still have 1 kilobyte free in order to rinse and repeat. And that means it's going to stop when the storage is full. We can then make a new category. Let's call this folks and make it purple. The spiced berry bot is gonna go in there, as well as the feed bot. Now at the moment it's focused on the wrong area. We want to cover this little bit right there, and we don't want to do the berries anymore. No, we rather pick up some spiced berries here and move that into the repeat until hands full function. Good, now we should have everything. Let's see what we need to finish. We need to make and store 10 folkwaff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and feed them myself if I have to. Ah, there it is. Okay, we completed it. Well, at least the cooking certificate. Ah, I see. So this WAF is worth 1, while the tier 2 WAF is worth 10. So I'm gonna add another storage. I'm actually gonna bring the WAF over there. And then let's see, we just store that in here. Yeah, that is something new. I'm gonna teach another robot to pick up the new type of WAF, and we're gonna bring it over to the new storage. In the meantime, I'm building 2 more storages just over here, and then moving them over to expand the WAF storage. There it is, the shelter task completed. And with that, we should advance to the next technology tree. We got a bot drive Mark 1. Oh, those are actually just variants. That's fine. We are still progressing over to the next stage, the hamlet. Science 2, farming, lumber, waterworks, clay pit, pottery, cooking, bulrush, textiles, clothing workshop, and shelter. All of those tasks we now have to take care of. We unlocked the Wonder 2, and this is actually really important because I'm accumulating some stuff that I don't want anymore. And we can use this building to destroy excess stuff. I need a little bit of sand, but it doesn't look like I can extract it just yet. Well, let's upgrade the research station now. We need logs, poles, and stones. Quite easy. We get access to a whole bunch of new technologies, especially also pathways, new, more effective tools. I like that. Let's do some storage technology here, and we're just gonna go ahead and process the WAF we still have. Oh, holy cow, the shelters actually suffer some damage, so we will have to hire a robot to fix them. And all they have to do is grab a log and then repair one of the shelters. So they need to find the shelter that's broken and bring the log over there. There we go. Repair that. Yeah, let's fix the area. And you're gonna rinse and repeat that. Thank you. Shelter repair bot, you go into the folks category. I'm also gonna add another WAF processor robot, but this time for the ×10 WAF. And we're also gonna process that for sure. Whoa, research completed. Milk, soil, sand, seawater, freshwater, crude bucket, small silo, barrel, and good workbench. Very nice. Let's build the good workbench right away at my personal crafting area, which is somewhat here. There's also a crude bucket to collect milk and water. This theoretically means I should now be able to dig up sand. No? Well, I'm gonna do the construction technology next. Another technology done. Panel, square frame. Ooh. Fixing peg and structural workbench. As usual, we should build the workbench right away. In terms of research, we're gonna go for new tools. Definitely interested in getting some of those. And I think I might need another chopping block for the fixing pegs. Let me test out this theory. Yes, there it is. And we need one pole to accomplish this. So I'm gonna try to move this a little bit out of the way. The seats can go right there. And then I should have my chopping block right here, though this robot is in the way. It doesn't even have anything to do. Let's go ahead, add a pole right there, see what happens. There are my fixing pegs, and there is another research completed. Yes, the chisel and mallet, leech, ooh, fruit, hand net, cut grass, cereal, bulrush seeds, bulrush stems, and crude blade. Either way, we need a simple storage to store the pegs. I'm then gonna teach this robot here, and you're gonna pick up a pole and you're gonna bring it to the chopping block. Once that is accomplished, you're gonna pick up all of the pegs, which should be 2. So we want to do that 2 times because we get 2 pegs, and then we want to store them in the storage bin. And we're just gonna do that until hands are empty. That's okay. Then we want to rinse and repeat, and that is just enough for a normal robot to take care of. This means I can now finish the structural workbench. Look at all these resources. Oh my gosh. Flooring required. Yeah, of course. Totally forgot about that. Here is the barrel, by the way, and a small silo. So probably for the wheat and maybe some honey in the future. So we haven't quite unlocked the structure necessary for that. And I think what we need to do is, let me see, construction technology. Yeah, probably this one here, basic flooring. So I do need to figure out how to get sand. Ah, wait, of course, if none of the tools work, maybe we need a new tool, the bucket. So if I just go ahead and build a bucket with 4 planks. Holy cow, that must be a huge bucket. So we bring that right here. I can take the bucket and then presumably grab some sand. Yes, okay, that actually works. And we don't even use up the sand, though the bucket does lose durability. Either way, we're gonna dump the sand in the research machine so this can continue. This means eventually we're gonna need a good workbench in this area. Just don't mind the coziness right now. I'm still about to rearrange everything you can see down here. It's just the village that at the moment is final and the farming area. For everything else, I still need a final spot. But for now, I just need it to function. So we're gonna build another good workbench, and then we're gonna make a robot craft some buckets and put them into the storage. There's some crude flooring we can now build and a sandy track. So our first type of road. There's the workbench, set it to crude bucket, and we just need 4 planks. So let's actually get one of the newer robots to do this. So we're gonna get over here to the crafting station and build ourselves another one. You're gonna craft the bucket bot, get planks until your hands are full, I guess, yeah. And then move them into the good workbench here until hands are empty. And then go ahead, pick up the bucket and put it into the storage that I haven't prepared yet. There is my storage. Now I can finally put it inside. Wonderful. Yeah, I think we can just do this in one go and then rinse and repeat forever. And this is gonna give us the buckets. Now I can hire a robot to take care of the sand and then another robot to bring the sand back home. Now we might need a silo to store the sand, technically. Yeah, I think we do. So let's just put that right here for now. And now I have my new robot here. It's gonna be the sand digger. We wanna first pick up a bucket and we wanna do that until hands are not empty. Then I wanna just go ahead and dig some. And I guess we can just reduce the area here a little bit, okay? And then I wanna go ahead, empty it into the silo. That means once it is in the silo, we can just rinse and repeat. Yeah, let's do that. I'm actually gonna hand them the bucket and they can get started right away. Wonderful. That means we should get to the next technology, and that would be farming technology. Let's go with the construction. Just finish this, and now I should be able to set up some crude flooring, either using straw or sand. Let's try the sand version. I'm just gonna do 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's see if we can move that afterwards. Yeah, look at that. Totally, we can totally move it. I just love this aspect about the game. And there we go. Now we should be able to just select everything and move it together with the flooring. Nice. Okay, I like it. It only didn't work because I'm in the way, but there we go. Structural workbench. It allows us to build a panel as well as the square frame, which I believe we're gonna need for some other crafting stuff. Another research completed: the crude axle, crank, good gear, and wood shaping bench. The wood shaping bench is what we should prepare right away. This is also going to require some flooring. For the wood shaping bench, we need all of these things: the square frame, the blade, and the crank. Square frame requires 4 poles and 4 fixing pegs. Now, the only thing that's left to do is the blade, which is made with 2 stones. I was already worried there first. And there is my blade. Give it to the shaping bench. Gonna move this guy over and then grab all of this, move it over. Wonderful. Now in here we can make the crude wheel, crude axle, and good gear. I think I have to change my feed bot completely. Let's just forget everything you learned and drop your stuff. I want you to just pick up one and then bring it over to the folks. Don't think about it too much, you know, and then rinse and repeat. Maybe that actually works. He is now feeding them. Finally, thank you. However, I still need to add a restriction. I'm sorry. We only want to feed the villagers until this storage here is full. Otherwise, we're going to make a huge mess. Let's also decide for the next research, which is going to be the farming technology. We need a stick. Looks like for the most part, we're still in the very basic phase. By the way, now that I have access to sand, we're going to complete this, and this should allow us to now delete materials. It actually comes in multiple building stages. Jeez, okay, don't do this to me. There it is, second building stage completed. Is there a third one? Yes, indeed. However, this is gonna be more than worth it. It should be completed now, and I can bring this once again over here to delete my freaking shovels that are just laying around here. Feed it anything and it's gonna be consumed. Oh my gosh, I was looking forward to this. We just unlocked the next research with the raw pumpkin, pumpkin seeds, so all about pumpkins, and finally a hoe. We also got the flail, so we can exchange our sticks with the berries, and we got a crude scythe, which I believe is very necessary. Next up, we're gonna upgrade our lumber technology with the mechanical frame saw. Got myself another crude workbench to build the scythe. Good, now I need one robot right here to build the blade, and all you are gonna do is pick up 2 stones and dump them in here. So pick up 2 stones and dump them in here until hands are empty, or 2 times, it doesn't really matter. Then we need to pick up the blade and store it in a crate. That should be good. Rinse and repeat forever. As for the scythe, we need 2 materials, so I'm gonna build another Mark 1 robot, and it's gonna be the scythe bot. Just pick up 1 crude blade, put it in here, and we also need a stick. Pick that up, put it in there. Oh, just completed the mechanical frame saw. Nice. By the way, pick up the scythe and put it in the storage bin. That should be everything for you. The mechanical frame saw will probably change how we interact with the wood here. We might not need the chopping blocks anymore. Let's put this to the test. Built my first mechanical frame saw. What do we need to do with it? Well, that actually completed a certificate. We get some more bot drive variants. By the way, we can make plank poles and the fixing pegs just as suspected, probably more efficient, or at the very least faster. So I will probably have to rearrange something about my system right there, give it a little bit more space, but I think we're on a good track here. We need to dedicate some more time to research. Wooden flooring and fencing. Yes, I definitely would like that. That is going to be an absolute absolute game changer. Alrighty, we are back, and as you can see, I've made some progress with the layouts. We now also have some fencing, we have roads. I still only have 3 folks right now because I'm lacking the berries, and I think, yeah, it's mostly because we are not picking them up quick enough. I think I have one final robot left here. This bot has nothing to do. So what we're gonna do is copy over one code here, the berry code. I already have it doubled up, actually, the berry picking, but it seems to not necessarily work. You can upload your blueprints right here by just hitting that button. And so now I can have a look at this guy, go back into the bot database, and then just pick the berry pickup bot here, download the program onto my bot. It's going to be named automatically and everything. I can just hit the play button, very convenient, and bring this into the corresponding team. Either way, I got some new machinery, the crude kiln here, as well as the crude clay station. I already made a robot shoveling the clay, and there should be another robot just shipping it back to this storage right there. As a matter of fact, let's increase the storage here by just 1. Now we need a new robot, the clay bowl bot. What we want to do is pick up some clay and then create a clay pot raw. So let's hit the play button. We want to pick up 2 pieces of clay. So we want to do that 2 times right there and then dump it into the clay station. Once we've done that, we should be receiving the raw pot. We're gonna pick up the pot and put it into the crude kiln right there. Now we cannot quite do that yet because we first need to fuel it up. So we will need to hire another robot to just bring over some fuel here. We can use logs, planks, or poles, I think. And now that we have some fuel, I believe we should be able to add the pot. No, we actually have to fuel it up completely. Intriguing. I know, I forgot to set the recipe, of course. We want to burn the clay pots, the raw ones. Now I should be able to add it right there. Wonderful. And just what I like to see, the fuel is only being used up as we actively burn stuff. Now the question is, could we just pick that up, find the nearest clay pot, and we have 2 kilobytes left, so we will need an upgrade for this guy, but we can now go ahead and store it inside, and then we just have to rinse and repeat that, and it's just short of 1 kilobyte. That is unfortunate. However, we should be able to make another basic upgrade here with just 2 poles and 2 tree seeds. Oh yeah, I also totally forgot, I upgraded here to the frame saws instead of just using the chopping blocks. There we go, there's my bot brain. Let's give it to this guy over there, and you need to have that as an upgrade. So now I have 3 kilobytes free, and we can hit the play button. Just keep on crafting those bowls. I'm gonna make yet another robot that is taking care of fueling. So that's the clay fuel bot. I want you to pick up some logs and simply ship them over there. Right here, you're just gonna insert those. Oh, actually, we can't do it quite yet. Yeah, I guess we have to wait until we used up enough fuel. Ah, there we go. I could add it now. Find nearest kiln in this region and then just rinse and repeat forever. Okay. Ah, another plan completed. That's what I like to see. The pottery stuff. We get a good backpack upgrade, but I think for that we need to get into another industry now. So I think what we gotta do now is plant a little bit of grass and keep going with that. So I'm gonna prepare a little something there. Good. Now I need my grass bots and I'm gonna reprogram them. So let's just delete everything, drop your weapons. What I want you to do is pick up a scythe, first of all, right there. And we only want to do that until our hands are not empty anymore. Then we want to go ahead and cut the grass with the scythe, which should keep it intact so we don't have to replant it. And all we have to do is adjust the cutting area right there. I cannot drag it any further, but we can go up to this point. Good. And then you just keep on repeating this. We make another category, grass. Let's also call it hay, grass hay, and I'm gonna give it the yellow color. So my grass bot goes in here, and I also need a grass pickup bot, which we already got ready. I just need to adjust the area. Good, that should be everything. Now I need to check, how can I make hay? I believe with wheat. Yeah, we also need an additional area with wheat. So I'm already gonna make another category, wheat. Let's also keep this yellowish, maybe brown. And in order to get some wheat, I believe we just have to grab the scythe and get over here with the cereal crop. So we want to go ahead and cut it. This gives us some cereal that hopefully we can use to plant it again. Now the question is, do we have to do something else? Like there is a hoe somewhere, right? Oh no, we still have to craft the hoe, unfortunately. So I'm gonna set up another crude workbench together with a storage chest. to build them. I'm quickly gonna move them over here, so I have an easy game. There it is. Let's see. We need a crude hoe right there with a blade and a stick. Did we ever have a rainstorm before? I don't think so. There's even some lightning going on. Oh yeah, and there is some thunder. Anyways, we now got a hoe bot. Oh my gosh. We want to pick up some crude blade and a stick. Okay, that's quite an easy recipe. Then we want to grab this hoe and put it in the storage bin. Rinse and repeat forever. Thank you, HoBot. There's another something I need to make sure. Like this guy here. Come on. Wait a second. The grass bot needs to stop, and we only really want to do that until the storage is full. So until the storage, where is it? Right here. The cut grass storage is full. Otherwise, we're just going to accumulate grass. Now that we have access to a hoe, it is actually possible to till the soil. What else is necessary? Water and fertilizer. So I guess we could do without water. We could do without anything, but we will not get any bonus. So that means I'm going to need one robot to till the fields, one robot to water everything, and then one robot to plant it. In order to get water, we would have to go all the way over there. And then I presume we could store it in a silo. Yeah, there we go. So if we have one robot picking the water and then bringing it over to a silo, hopefully that is going to be possible. Just got to make sure this is actually possible. No, we cannot store the water. Let's see if we can apply it to the soil. So I guess for now, we're just going to do the tilling. Maybe to get the seeds, we'll have to whack it with something. Let me build another crude bench. I guess let's test out the wooden mallet. Maybe we can whack the cereal with it. There it is, the beauty. Now let's see, can we smack that? We can just hit the trees. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to see. In this case, let's quickly see the cereal seed. How do I... with a flail. I have to hit it with a flail. Okay, let's just quickly test that out. Yeah, there we go. We can hit it. Okay, this way we get a little bit of straw as well as the cereal seed. So we're gonna need multiple... Oh my gosh, I just planted it. But yeah, we're gonna need 3 storages for that. Gonna move these storages over here for the time being, and I guess we can get rid of that silo for now. No, okay, the seeds need to be stored inside the silo. Okay, at least that. And the cereal into other chests. This means I need one robot to till the soil, one robot to plant the seeds, one robot to harvest them, and one robot to collect everything. We're gonna get started with the easy one, the till bot. All we need is a hoe until hands are not empty, and then we are starting to till the soil here. And we just wanna keep on doing that forever, basically. That's my first bot that goes into the wheat category. Then I need one robot to grab the seeds and plant them over there. So I'm gonna call this wheat seed bot, and we're gonna pick up one seed and then just go ahead, plant it in some tilled soil. And of course we want to do that until hands are full, and then we want to do that until hands are empty. The next robot is going to be the wheat harvest bot, and all we need to do for that is pick up a scythe and harvest. Now I don't have anything ready over there, so we're just going to harvest this guy, but then adjust the area. And we're going to do that until hands are empty, or aka our tool broke, and that should be good. Do this forever, okay? Next we need a robot to pick up the cereal, so I'm gonna call this cereal pickup bot. I think my crop just grew. Yeah, right there. We can now harvest it. So let's get ready to pick up the cereals before the animals do. There it is. We want to pick those up. And they're actually also eating the hay, I believe. No, they're going after my grass. I might have to lock these guys away. Either way, we pick up cereals until our hands are full, and then we put them into this storage bin here. And we just want to keep on going with that, storing the cereal. Okay, now we also need to pick up the hay. But before we do that, maybe we're gonna make a wheat seed maker bot. And what we need from you is to pick up a flail, in case you don't have one. Then let's see, can I store away the flail? Yeah, stow held item, so I can pick up one cereal, drop it on the floor, then get my stowed item again and use it on the cereal. Okay, and I guess that is actually enough for just one robot. Let's go ahead and do that, and that seems to be working. It's already doing it. That's very good. So now I need a bot to pick up the seeds as well as the straw and stow it away. So that would be the straw seed pick up bot. So it looks like we're just gonna rinse and repeat repeat that for a couple of times. And I guess we can say until hands are full, but we are gonna toggle exit repeat on fail. Then we're gonna store away the seeds until hands are empty. Then we wanna pick up the straw in the same manner. So either until our hands are full or it fails. And then finally we wanna store the straw. Now I just realized that doesn't make any sense in case we are having an excess of materials in one category. So I think I'm gonna leave out the straw, and this is only gonna be the seed pickup bot, okay? However, that means we need an additional bot to store the straw, and then we need one more to plant the seeds. No, actually, I think we're already planting them, right? So this is gonna be the straw pickup bot. We want to... Oh no, the straw has gone. Well, I'm just gonna drop one straw myself here, and then we want to pick it up, okay? Yeah, it was this little sheep there. We want to do that until hands are full, and then store it in the storage bin until hands are empty. So we are keeping it simple with each individual bot. This way also much less can go wrong. Now, before I do anything else, I'm gonna collect a little bit of logs and finish the fencing here in order to prevent the sheep from actually entering and eating everything up that I have planned. Whoa, we just finished a huge task here with the cereals. Let's see what we get in return. Scarecrow. Oh, that is nice, actually. And watering can. That was what I was waiting for. This means we can now probably have someone make the watering can. It's not made in here. Right here it is, in the good workbench. And we need a fixing peg, plank, and pole. And this honestly looks like a more complicated recipe for the watering can to take damage. So maybe that is something that doesn't perish. There it is. Wonderful. We also need a barrel to store the water. That actually makes more sense, storing it in a barrel, right? Oh no, the watering can also comes with durability. That is like really bad, isn't it? This means we would need a good workbench, and additionally we also need to store the watering cans. Let's see if we can accomplish this with just one robot. 4 planks, 8 fixing pegs, and 2 poles. Yeah, that will definitely need a brain upgrade. Gonna build the robot, give it its brain upgrade right away. That would be the watering can bot. First of all, we're gonna collect planks until our hands are full. Then we're gonna dump that into the good workbench until hands are empty. Then we're gonna collect 2 poles. So we want to take 2, let's see, times 2, where is it? And then we dump the pole into the recipe until our hands are empty again. Now we have 8 kilobytes left. That should be enough. So we have to get 4 and 4 fixing packs. So we want to collect fixing packs until hands are full. Yeah, that's fine. And then dump them in here until hands are empty. And we have 2 kilobytes left. Okay, so we can just barely finish the recipe. That is not good. Can I have a second brain upgrade? Because right now I have finished the recipe, but what I need to do is take all of this and repeat it twice. So like the collection of 4 fixing packs, we want to do that twice. And this should be everything. But if I now get this in a loop to do forever, I cannot pick up the can. Oh, another research completed. We now get access to stewed berries and the crude cooking pot. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly check whether or not I can have 2 brain upgrades at the same time. No, that doesn't work. So I think we might have to reactivate this robot every now and then. This is such a bummer. So I think I'm just gonna do one load of fixing pegs, and then with another robot, I'm gonna do the second load of fixing pegs and also storing it. This way, I will still not overproduce the watering cans. Watering can bot 2 is only gonna be responsible to pick up 4 additional fixing packs. Then we go ahead and add that to the workbench as well, which will result in the watering can being built. Good. Now I just need to pick up the watering can, which is somewhere here. Yeah, pick it up and put it into the storage. Okay, and that's all I have to do for this guy as well. Okay, now I seem to have a little problem here with my harvesting bot just going for it. I only want you to do this until cereal storage is full, and for some reason... okay, so my seed bot just keeps on producing, and I think my cereal collector bot isn't quick enough, honestly. So maybe to make things a little bit more streamlined, I'm gonna bring the storage over here so we can collect this a little bit quicker, and therefore the seed guy is gonna be delayed a little bit here with traveling. Now our straw storage is already full, so I'm not so sure what to do with that. For now, I'm just gonna dump it in here so the animals are eating it up. Okay, we should be taking care of the next upgrade. We could do robotics upgrade. Let's actually go for this one here. I'm not sure what it means with I don't have the ingredients. We'll see. Also, we now need to get into clothing, and for that we need the Bulrush farms. So I guess some type of cotton. And what do we still have to do for the cooking? We need to build the crude cooking pot that we unlocked. Yeah, we should definitely do that. Either way, I think right now we don't really need to water anything. I'm just gonna let the watering cans build up, and then we're gonna also make a barrel in order to be able to store a little bit of water nearby. And so maybe eventually we're gonna start to water the fields when I realize I need more stuff. There we go. We are about to explore another technology here, robotics technology 2. Here we get some decent upgrades now with the backpacks, the speed, some more power, sensor upgrades, large bot brain upgrades, and we also get the Mark II robot. So I think what we gotta do is upgrade a basic bot workbench. Let's try to do that. There it is, the basic workbench, and we can upgrade it using 4 logs, 8 panels, and 6 square frames. So in this case, I think we should go ahead and automate all of these things, at least the square frame and the plate. So I'm gonna take my structural workbench over here. I'm also gonna add 2 storage bins, and I think we just need to copy this over. So another structural workbench. This way we can have one for the panels, and then one is gonna be for the frames. There we go. Said and done. I got my 2 crafting stations ready. We just need the 2 robots. You need to grab 4 poles and 4 fixing pegs. Looks like we're short 1 or 2 kilobytes, so we will have to add the upgrade, but that shouldn't be an issue. There we go. 1 upgrade for you, and you can get to work. Now we need to do the same thing here for the structural panel. Here we actually need 1 more material, which might result in some issues, so we might have to hire 2 robots to take care of that. So with 1 robot, I'm gonna grab the planks and the fixing pegs, and then with the other one, I'm just gonna do the frame and then the storing in the container. This way they're also not gonna overproduce. I also got a turf maker bot right here that is just repeatedly digging out the same tile and then adding the turf back again. Sometimes you get 2 turfs, and this way I just gradually get more turfs. So every now and then I can grab some and kind of clean up the mess that I still got going on. Right now, the last research we can conduct is clothing technology, which we definitely need to upgrade to the next level. I'm also gonna keep exploring a little bit, see if we can find any other resources we don't have yet. Oh, there we go. I found a cow. I'm gonna store this guy. Well, I'm gonna take it with me. And there is some metal ore. Very intriguing. Another cow. Let's see what happens if I harvest one of these flowers. We just get the literal flower, as well as some seeds. That is actually interesting. So I could take the seeds and potentially use this last row to cultivate some flowers. Okay, so I just figured out we need to till the soil in order for the flowers to be plantable. Yeah, it looks like there are 4 types of flowers in total. I still need the aster. There are 2 more, so that's already 6 types. Okay, I figured out the bulrush seed part. You just have to plant the seed in these swamp tiles, and I first had to find the plant. Now to finish the contract, we just have to complete storing 10 of the stems. Later on, we should be able to farm them inside the greenhouse, but until then, we just have to make do with this. And there it is, completed. We got the farmer's hat, and that is everything. I was kind of hoping for the greenhouse. Either way, now at least we can continue the research, and we should be able to dive into textiles and the clothing workshop. I think we should already prepare in terms of food by building another mixing pot, and then we should be able to also upgrade it using clay, sticks, and a crude torch. The torch can be made right here in the good workbench with straw and a stick. Cooking pot level 1. Okay, it looks like we can just upgrade it without issues. The former recipes can still be utilized. All the new recipe requires are spiced berries, the fresh water, and a clay pot. So we need a new robot to take care of that. And I think I'm gonna be moving my kitchen a little bit to keep the overview here. Okay, I'm gonna rearrange the houses a little bit because we need more space for the new type. It is the log cabin right there. So we can have like 2. And if we stretch it out by 1 more block, we could have 4 next to each other. Yeah, let me just move this over a little bit in order to build it here with the straw. And this is a much more interesting build because you can kind of see we are first making the flooring out of straw and then we're going to be adding some logs, etc. Now we need 6 logs each. I'm going to be taking the logs that are kind of piling up here. Research completed. We get a whole bunch of clothing and clothing materials, spinning wheel, threshing machine. I see. In the meantime, by the way, I also built a factory right here to build the Mark II robot. So we got the head here, the torso, and the drive, which requires the most stuff, especially also the gear. So I had to add a couple of wood shaping benches and also automate these intermediate materials, the crude wheel and the good gear. Next stage of the log cabin requires a whole bunch of planks. Right now, I seriously need more robots taking care of crafting the planks. I should probably double up on each of these. Here we go. I got my completed log cabins. I'm also gonna move those for the time being. And then I guess we just have to grab the guys and put them into their new homes. Folk evolve into level 3, but now they will require some clothing. And there it is, plan completed. Yes, this should give us good stuff. Picket fence, picket gate. Okay, maybe not that good stuff. Now, as for the feed bot, we can probably forget the programming because we will feed the improved berries. So first things first, we're gonna make another cook right there. Come to Papa. Stewed berries bot. We want to collect 2 berries and a clay pot. And then I'm gonna make another bot responsible just for the water. We're currently storing the water here inside the barrel. Though actually, we might be able to pull this off with just 1 robot, thinking about it. If we can maybe upgrade another basic bot workbench, we could make one of the improved upgrades. There it is, the good bot brain upgrade. This should definitely give us enough to do the entire cooking with 1 robot. Let's see, we go from 16 to 24 kilobytes. Yes, I have a good feeling about this. So let's teach him the technique with the bucket and everything. Gonna grab a clay pot next, bring it to the cooking thing. We're gonna bring the clay station a bit closer in just a second. Oh, actually, we should have made sure to first stow away the bucket. Then we put that into the pot. We need the spiced berries next, so we grab 2 of these times 2. Oh, what did I do? Then we want to put it in there until hands are empty. After that, we want to go ahead and retrieve the bucket. So it is back. That leaves us with 9 kilobytes. We now have to grab some water and dump it in there. 5 kilobytes. Ooh, this might be a close call. We might not be able to pick up the food. But if we do this 2 times with the bucket, we should be getting the recipe. Oh, we still need another robot actually fueling the thing. I didn't do that with the first one either. Cooking refuel bot. All you need to do is grab a log. And I'm actually going to do that until hands are full. And later on, I'm going to give him an upgrade. But for now, let's move over there. Just roughly define the area. That is fine. And we're going to do that until hands are empty. Then we just rinse and repeat. Okay. We should be able to make this good bot power upgrade. There is the huge battery. We're going to give it to this guy, I believe. That was the wrong guy. Can you drop it, please? Drop it on the floor. Thank you. I'm gonna give it to you. You need that upgrade so you can carry 2 stems. And holy cow, look at this torso now. Truly got stronger. And with that out of the way, you can go to town, okay? And then the stew bot, I think, can also go to town. No, we still need to pick up the item. Here we go. Cooking is completed. I should... Yeah, I cannot really pick it up. Oh no, this is such a bummer. If I then put it into the inventory, we are 2 kilobytes short to complete the code. So I think it would be easier to divide this in a bot with a bucket and 1 bot without a bucket. As for the feed bot, we're now grabbing the stew from here. And I think, yeah, we're just gonna do one after another and then feed them over there to the folks. Wonderful. So now all we have to do is feed the folk and then of course also store the new wealth. Well, we first have to craft the clothes, otherwise the people are not really happy. We need a spinning wheel, let's see how that works, and a crude clothing station. This also needs to be enclosed, so we need to build some walls and a flooring. Let's build the prototype over here. We can just do some stone walls like so, and then we'll have a little fence gate. This is hopefully counting, and I think I'm gonna do some simple wooden flooring. I'm first gonna build the flooring over here so I can just copy it over then. Wonderful. The crude gate actually counts and this is now usable. It will give us a Bulrush thread from Bulrush fiber. And then we have the clothing station, which is gonna give us a toga, some hats, and I guess the Bulrush cloth. Okay, so we need to build the cloth and the thread. I'm also gonna need an additional building, the threading machine, and I believe we can use seeds or something. Let's put this to the test. There is my lovely threshing machine. Let's see what we can use it for. We can make cereal seeds, so we don't have to produce them with the flail anymore. And from the Bulrush stems, we can make Bulrush fiber, which we should do. I think until we have the greenhouse, I'm just quickly gonna teach a robot to take care of the Bulrush seeds. He might need a brain upgrade, but let's transport him all the way over here. All I want you to do is just harvest anything you can see. Then we're gonna stow away the item. We're gonna pick up the Bulrush, put them in the storage bin, pick up the seeds and replant them. Then we should retrieve the item, which leaves us... Oh no, I still have the upgrade, so we should be good. We can even be as bold as finding 2 stems whenever they are and also add them to the storage, and we can do the thing with the seeds also 2 times, but we might want to check this in case there's nothing to plant. Yeah, sure, we're just gonna skip it in case something fails, and if it fails, I also want to make sure that we drop everything. So we're gonna drop the item and then we retrieve the crude scythe again, and then we rinse and repeat, okay? And all I have to do is provide them a scythe for the very first time, and I guess eventually it's gonna break, but that's fine. I just need a little bit of material. Now this time around we only have 1 seed, so let's see how he reacts. Picking up the seeds, planting them, easy. Now there's no other seed, so they skip, and no, actually there's another seed also planted, and we go again. Okay, that seems to be fine. I will be getting a whole bunch of stems, at least initially, to get ourselves started. Here we are processing the stems. With the Bulrush fiber, we can now go ahead, check out the loom, I think right here. Yeah, we have to put it in there, into the spinning wheel, and we will be getting the thread. The threads will then be put into the clothing station. Oh my gosh, look at that rocking chair. But here we go. We got a Bulrush cloth that we need to store inside a pallet. So there's going to be a pallet associated with this process, and we put that right in there. We also want to set up a storage bin probably for the thread. So that's going to be reserved for that. And right now I would like to move everything. Let me see. Where are we going to set this up? I guess for now we're gonna put it here. It's not gonna remain here, but it's good enough right now. We're almost done with the task here. I can make my second cloth that I'm gonna put here. And then I guess I'm just gonna grab the storage bin here briefly. I'm gonna take all the stems out of there, and then we can put the storage back. Okay, so you can store it right in there. There it is. Plan complete. Finally, thank you. So our goal is going to be to make the toga. For that we need to automatically craft the cloth, but that also means we need another clothing station. So eventually I'm going to make this a little bit larger, but let's just build that and see if we can make our first toga. Let's set up a toga and just build it manually for now. I mean, I cannot get enough of this rocking chair, and I think we have to craft 3 of them to fulfill the task. Now let's see what happens if we give those to our villagers. They should become very happy and start to produce the wealth again. And yes, look at that. Everything is fulfilled. I like that. That means I need to get my wealth finder here. Now these wealth pieces are worth quite a bit, 100 a piece. So we want to make sure we pick them up. And that also means we kind of want to replace this storage. Another plan completed. Thank you. More bot variants. Maybe I should take that into consideration once we have so many bots that I cannot distinguish them anymore. Okay, there we go. I got my container. We can now store the wealth and replace this guy there. I'm still gonna process the wealth I have going on here, so we're not gonna change the processor bot that does the research. In the meantime, I'm gonna build another robot with a strength upgrade that is gonna support the one that should be bringing over the logs. I think we're lacking there a little bit. Another plan completed. We're almost done, I think, now, and we should be able to get into the next stage. Yeah, actually it is done. Very nice. So now we're getting into stage 5, the village. They also need entertaining, so set up a new toy making industry. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Transportation, beekeeping, more cooking, twine works, clothing. Yeah, this is gonna be a doozy this stage. Got my new tree log pickup bot. We can pick up many logs here. Okay, now I guess we just have to make a little bit of progress before we do though. Let me have a quick look here into the research, and we need to upgrade that first with a rough stone block. Let me see if we can already do that. We probably have to do a chisel. Like if I check this out here, we have a crude chisel and mullet. And that is actually a complicated recipe because it requires 2 materials that already come from crafting something else. So at this point, I feel a little bit claustrophobic, especially with my factory here. And I would like to expand it a little bit, maybe set it up in a more convenient manner, just complete a few other things before we progress. Alrighty, a lot has happened since we've seen us the last time. I mostly rearranged everything because it was just getting too chaotic, and now I really love this layout. We have the crafting station for all of the tools, then we have the robot upgrades. Here is the robot crafting system, and then some random stuff on the right side. I'm still adding new industries, but the new ones we haven't touched on I want to do together with you. I now mostly exchanged all of the important robots to be the Mark II robots, and they also mostly come with an upgrade. So now, for instance, this guy here can make 8 fixing pegs in one go. I tried to optimize the codes a little bit. I also made sure that we are now getting the seeds, and once the seeds are done, they are being brought into a new contraption, the fertilizer storage. This fertilizer can then be used to fertilize the seeding tray, and right here we have some type of a seedling that seems to be better in order to plant for the trees. However, I haven't made the switch just yet. What I did though is automate the clothing industry, so we're now making some togas automatically, and they're also being distributed to the villagers. Not all of the robots are replaced just yet. I just wanted to make sure that I have a usable layout, and now we can take care of some other stuff. For instance, I would like to get into the wool industry, and I also would like to get into the stone industry. So I already tried everything out. What we need to do is chisel away on these hard rocks. And so let's go ahead and actually build a robot. I'm just taking all 3 parts that I require, and I'm gonna put them on the bench myself. Now we can click this guy, and this is gonna be, let me see. Yeah, it belongs into the crafting category, and I'm just gonna call this guy Chisel. Now somewhere we have the chisel right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and collect it, and that didn't change. We want to collect the chisel until hand not empty, and then we want to select this area and chisel away. Now I probably don't have to do this very often, so I think I'm actually gonna program in some more stuff into this robot. We're gonna stow away the tool, and then we're gonna collect the rock. And you can already see the area they can work with is much bigger. But once we got that rock, we want to go ahead and store it inside this pallet. So we're just gonna bring that over. Well done. And I think we then need to retrieve the tool again and use the forever loop. Now, before we send this bot on their merry way, let's give them some upgrades. For instance, we could go with a speed upgrade. That would make sense. We don't need a brain upgrade or a search upgrade. We also don't need to be able to carry more. So we should be good just giving it the speed upgrade right there. You get that. And now you can go to work and collect some stones for me. Now we need 3 more robots to take care of each of these recipes. I already prepared all of the benches, and I think this is just being used to craft the next tier of shelter. So let's go ahead and craft another robot. I just love how everything is automated by now, and I just need to collect the materials that I require. This is gonna be my crafting shaped stone block. And we want to grab a stone, put it on here, and that's probably all we have to do. And we're just gonna store it as well. So bring that over here. Wonderful. Rinse and repeat forever. That's all we need to do for this guy. Now let's have a look at the recipes here. Some stone and mortar. So we first need to make mortar, but there we go. Another plan completed. We got the stone wall, a nice door, window, and flooring. Okay. I already prepared the crude mortar mixer right here that I unlocked at some stage, and this can only make the mortar right now using some clay, sand, and fresh water. It would probably be good to have just one robot to fulfill fulfill the entire recipe. Let's try to accomplish that. Give me a robot. Thank you. Crafting mortar. Let's get started with the bucket. We definitely need one bucket, and we need that whenever we don't have a bucket at this stage. So until our hands are not empty. Then we're gonna start with the sand. We already have some sand going on here, which is being collected over there by some other robot. But let's get the sand and pour it in there. And we also get some fresh water down here and pour it in there as well. Then we stow away the bucket, and all we need to do is collect a little bit of clay. Let me see. Yeah, just one clay, put it in there. Okay, we still have 4 kilobytes. That sounds good. There's the mortar. Now the problem is we cannot pick it up. We need to retrieve the bucket and then pick it up, and then we can probably store it, yeah, right there. Okay, and then we rinse and repeat, which means this guy's gonna require a brain upgrade. I'm gonna give him the bucket and grab myself a brain upgrade, which is then automatically being recrafted. Do we need anything else? I mean, they don't really need to run around. They don't need to carry more or find anything. So let's just get this started, and we should now be crafting the mortar. Let's have a look at this guy just at least once, see if everything is working out. And there is the clay. Wonderful. Getting the bucket back and picking it up. Okay, now the problem is if the bucket breaks at the wrong stage, that could be an issue. I think we need to add another instance of grabbing a bucket just in case we don't have it. So I'm gonna do the very same thing right there until hands are not empty. And we need to, after retrieving the bucket again, just in case it vanished, add another instance of getting a bucket, but only if we don't have it. Next, I'm gonna build another robot responsible to craft the stone items. I also don't think this guy needs to be particularly fast. You're gonna be crafting a fireplace. We need 10 pieces of stone, so I'm gonna collect like 5 here, and we're gonna add them to the masonry bench. Then I'm gonna do this 2 times, this entire thing, in order to get the 10 stones. And then we just need 5 mortar, which we need to collect with a bucket. So get the bucket. I'm gonna grab the mortar and put it in the workbench, and we need to do this 10 times. So all of this needs to happen 5 times, 5 mortar. There, I quickly finished the recipe, so we can program in the rest of picking it up. We would have to stow away the bucket now, then pick up the fireplace and put it in the storage, okay? And then we want to rinse and repeat everything. Good, I think that should be functioning. I'm gonna give this guy a brain upgrade as well as a speed upgrade. Hang on, we have a problem. When are we retrieving the item? Yeah, we're not even retrieving the bucket right now. So I'm gonna program that in. Okay, give you the bucket. Now, when are we gonna retrieve it? Just before that, I would say, before we actually grab a new bucket. And let's observe it just for 1 brief minute. First of all, bringing 5 stones and then another 5 stones, hopefully. Yes, there it is, another 5. Wonderful. Now with the bucket, adding 5 mortar. Yes, yes, yes. Then it should be stowing away the bucket. Okay, it is happening. And then we put it in there. Wonderful. And we go back to the beginning. I think what we should be able to do is copy over the crafting fireplace robot. I'm gonna craft myself a new robot. And then this guy is gonna get the crafting fireplace blueprint. However, we need to change a few things. We don't want masonry bench 2, but we want this guy here. And add to masonry bench 3. Then mortar and masonry bench needs to change again. That's good. And then instead of finding a fireplace, it would have to be a chimney, so I can change that without crafting one. As said and done, I built myself the first chimney. Let's also rename this guy and then hit record. We want to change that to find the nearest thingy-mabob. Okay, I have to record that, just picking it up. So replace the fireplace with chimney, move the target, pick it up, and then move to the chimney storage and add to chimney storage. Also gonna give this guy a speed and a brain upgrade. And just like that, we should be able to go. Thank you, Chimney Bot. Good, let's take care of the new industry. We have the crude string maker, which still requires 2 poles. I'm gonna add that right here. Wonderful. What can we do with it? Weeds loose into string. Ah, this is great. So I'm gonna grab myself another robot in order to take care of that. There you go, buddy. Okay, crafting string. We want to pick up as many wheats as possible, which I have stored over here. So until hands are full, and then add them, hold the phone right there. Wait a second, it requires 5. So not until hands are full, but then we're gonna do it exactly 5 times until hands are empty. Well, actually thinking about it, if we gave him an upgrade, we can have 8 in our hands and 2 in the backpack. So I'm gonna pick up 2 wheat and then stow the items. Then I take from the storage again until hands are full, and then I move to the string maker and add to it until hands are empty, which is going to produce 2 strings, and it's going to be put in there. Wow, that is actually a brilliant animation. Either way, we want to pick things up and we want to do this twice. So all of this in here, and we want to do this 2 times. And then we still need to store it. Let's see. It needs to be stored in a crate. So let's craft another crate. So now final step is to store it in the crate until hands are empty. And then rinse and repeat everything. Okay. Speed upgrade could be useful, and maybe even a search upgrade, since we are picking up 2 strings. It's going to make it ever so slightly faster, but not really worth it. However, we have unlimited resources for upgrades, so if there's even a slight benefit, I'm probably gonna end up adding some. And there we go, we're processing the wheat. Ooh, wait, I forgot something. Yeah, of course, this robot needs a more specific upgrade, the power upgrade here. Totally forgot that they need to be able to carry 10 items in total. Okay, are we ever retrieving? No, we're not retrieving the items. Man, what am I doing? We need to add a retrieve somewhere, and probably even more. So retrieve and add to storage until hands are empty. That now should work, okay? But yeah, you get the basic gist. We're now automating everything. I think I need to take a break. I put the retrieve in the wrong thing. We need to retrieve right here. No, even further, right there. Yeah, okay, that might actually work. And there it is, another plan completed. Thank you very much. Let's maybe have a quick look at the research. There are 2 more things we can do, the crude wheel and crude torch. Yeah, let's maybe do that, even though we haven't quite everything unlocked. But at the moment I have set it up in a way so that when all of my storages are full with the WAF, the village is not being supplied anymore. So I don't necessarily waste my materials unless I'm doing research. And of course, right now the research is already over 1,000. So it does take a while, and pretty soon we're gonna be in the 100,000s or even millions of points that we need for research. Let's have a look at the wool mill. We basically need another, let me see, probably one of these. No, it's not here. Somewhere we should be able to make scissors. Maybe it's the good workbench. Yeah, right there. Crude shears. That's wonderful. This way we can shear the sheep. We can situate the good workbench right there, and then even add another storage. Oh, research already completed. Mobile liquid storage. Oh my god, this is amazing. So they can just use the carts and wheelbarrows. Oh dear, so transporting things got much easier now. And there is even a vehicle assembly unit. Oh my gosh. The crude road is making us 50% faster, and it looks like, yeah, we cannot upgrade. We would have to delete the other one. And there are 2 bridges. Very nice. There's also a flagstone flooring. I'm gonna build the vehicle assembly unit over here. I should still have some flooring at the ready. There it is, another good workbench, and we're gonna craft the scissors here forever. So we are gonna need another robot to take care of that. I'll be right back once that is done. Now that we have access to shears, I'm gonna add another robot called sheep shearing, and all we want to do is grab some shears. Do that like with any other tool until hands are not empty, but then we want to shear a sheep. I guess we have to wait until daytime though. There we go. They are eating away again. I'm not sure. Maybe it's visible once they can be sheared. Maybe I have too many sheep in there for the sized pen, so the grass cannot grow fast enough. I'm gonna get rid of 2 sheep and see if that helps. Ah, there we go. They actually signal you very clearly. Okay, now I have access to a fleece that I'm gonna pick up. After stowing away the shears, I'm gonna go ahead and just store the fleece inside the storage bin for now, and then rinse and repeat, okay? first retrieve the item. Yeah, okay, that should actually work out and automatically collect the fleece for me. The question is, where are we gonna have that? Probably right here would make sense, and that also means I probably want an upgrade for this robot. I'm gonna do a little speed and search upgrade. Good, that's the livestock task out of the way. Now, what about the wool? Ah, looks like we have a new recipe here for the spinning wheel. So we can make thread either from Bulrush or we can make it from wool. We don't need the Bulrush anymore. So I think what I'm gonna do is grab this chair and bring it outside so we can set up another spinning wheel. Have this guy right there. Wonderful, there's my second spinning wheel, and as announced, we're gonna produce the wool. Now, just to warn you, all of this is also gonna move to the crafting area eventually. For now, I'm just doing it over here because I can. I'm gonna do another robot now, crafting wool. All we need is the fleece, so we're gonna grab some of that. We could do until hands are full and then add it to the spinning wheel. It's a 1-for-1, and we're gonna do that until hands are empty. Then we're gonna pick up the wool until hands are full, and then we're gonna bring it over to the wool storage until hands are empty. Pretty straightforward. For this one, a sensor and speed upgrade could be useful. The speed for the travel distance and then the sensor to pick up all the items that are on the floor. After acquiring some wool, we will have to make a wool blanket, and we will also have to make some thread out of the wool. Here is the wool blanket. I'm not yet sure what this is actually being used for. It also needs to be stored within a pallet. Let me build one of those. I'm just going to do it over there for now. And we're also going to bring this rocking chair over there so I know what I'm talking about. And later on, once I know the extent of the clothing industry, I'm going to rearrange everything again. Actually, I just realized for the level 4 robe, we still need the Bulrush cloth, so we can't really avoid it. There's another rocking chair. I'm gonna use that one to make the toga. And of course, that means we need yet another robot. The rope crafting pretty straightforward. A toga, a Bulrush cloth, and a string. I presume the toga and the string we should be able to just pick up, and then we stow them away. This leaves us the space to pick up the Bulrush cloth and transport it all the way over here. Oh no, I needed a string and I picked up a thread. My bad. I made a little temporary enclosure so I can craft the second type of string. All we need is string, as much as we can carry, and bring it over to the spinning wheel. We know all that. We then pick up all of the strings on the floor and we put them into the storage. Okay, rinse and repeat. And if we give you a upgrade, maybe carrying capacity and speed would be good for you. There we go. And another material done. We will probably not have to care for a lot of these in the future since we've already done them. Now, the next stage of cooking is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because we first have to find a beehive. And we actually do have a beehive here on this tree, and I think we might have to hit this with a mallet. Let's check it out. Let's do this. Just hit the tree. Yeah, look at that. We can just collect the beehive. Wonderful. Nothing dangerous about that. And I think what we need to do with this is just to first research it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Beehive, yes. Add you there, and research, please. We got access to honey and a skep. Here is the skep. Let's see if we have to do something specific for that. Just a little bit of straw. There we go. And what do we have to feed it? No, I guess we can just retrieve the honey. We can retrieve the honey with a bucket, it seems. The last thing we can research for this tier is the crude torch here, aka the cauldron recipes. There it is, knocking down the bees, and then hopefully with the net we can kind of catch them. No. Maybe we can just take the entire beehive and put it into the skep. Who knows? Here we go. Yes, okay. That is actually working. Cool. And it will be producing honey for us that we can pick up with a bucket. Okay, I like that. That means we should be able to dive into the new recipes. Ah, look at that. An upgraded flail, berry jam, and the cauldron. Yeah, the cauldron was exactly what I was waiting for. There's my crude cooking pot, and we can upgrade it one more time. However, we do need some metal ore. I made myself another robot that I'm gonna teach to to pick up an axe. And then we just want to go across the lake in order to mine some metal ore. Ooh, that actually takes a while. And then we're just gonna rinse and repeat that forever. Take the pickaxe and go. And then we hire another robot to bring over the materials. Logically, speed upgrade and power upgrade. All you need to do is collect metal ore until your hands are full. And I think in case we don't have as many metal ore just yet, I still want them to go ahead and store them inside the crate. And then rinse and repeat. You can go, thank you. I'm now quickly gonna finish the cauldron. Be right back. And there it is, my first cauldron. Yeah, it needs to be inside, that is unfortunate. But just to test things out, we can do that. Does this actually count? Yes, okay. Metal ore mined, that's another contract completed. And now we can finally have a look at the new recipe, which is the berry jam. We need stewed berries and honey, so pretty straightforward. It's not that dramatic of an increase in difficulty. And here it looks like we already produced a little bit of honey. So we could hire a robot to take care of that. I'm gonna do that. It is a little bit chaotic since where is the cooking happening at the moment? I think down here. Though we're not really making the stewed berries here. Yeah, it's happening up there, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna add one more robot to craft the berry jam. Cooking berry jam. We need to make sure that we have a bucket at some point. So that's the first thing I'm gonna make sure to have a bucket. Okay. The bucket, however, I think is gonna start inside the inventory, and then we just need to grab some stew. The stew takes up 4 inventory slots, so we can do until full and do the full load in one go. So I'm just adding 1, but it's gonna be adding 2. Then we're gonna retrieve the bucket, and after that we check if we actually do have the bucket. We're then going to the bees right there, and finally we're adding that to the cauldron. Okay, then I want to stow away my held item again, and we need to pause so I can finish the recipe. The recipe can only be finished if we find our fuel bot, cooking refuel bot. Okay, you need to increase your range. Let's see. Yeah, we can totally cover everything. Okay, looks like the skep wants a bunch of flowers. We're gonna put that right here, and then maybe we can plant some flowers all the way around. So now all that's left to do is pick up the berry jam and put it in the storage. Holy cow, this is kind of huge. And now rinse and repeat everything. That should be good. We need to upgrade the brain, and I also need a power upgrade right there, and now we can carry enough. Okay, let's see if that actually works. We're getting some stewed berries. Okay, putting them in there. Now we didn't have a bucket, so the first thing we do is retrieve the bucket, and then we're waiting for the honey, right? Honey is finished. I think we're producing a little bit because of the flowers right there. So the range is actually not that shabby, but it would probably be best to surround this with flowers, which is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, now we basically have everything ready to upgrade to the next tier. We can upgrade the houses, we can upgrade the clothing, and everything is ready. Let me just clean things up a little bit. Also here within the menu, we now can do lots more with the categories. I can have even categories inside categories, which is absolutely useful. Okay, I just made my first wheelbarrow, and I had to show you this. This is absolutely amazing. Control click to take and control left click to release. Now I'm gonna increase my metal storage right there, and I'm gonna teach this guy something else. Let's just get rid of the code. First of all, we want to take control of the cart that is gonna be here. Then we want to control right click somewhere near the metal ores. We're then gonna go ahead and collect ores until our hands are full, and hopefully we can just put them in here. Okay, we can store 10 items in total, so I think I'm just gonna do it 10 times over and over again, so we don't have to collect a weird number with retrieving and everything. After doing that, we take control of the wheelbarrow again and we drive it back. We then take from the wheelbarrow again and store it, and we have to do this 10 times as well. So take from the wheelbarrow and store it 10 times, then do this indefinitely, okay? We'll have to swap the power upgrade with our brain upgrade here, and now this guy can go. Grab the wheelbarrow. I love it. Yeah, I mean, we could be picking them up more efficiently, but considering the limitations, I believe this is not bad. Here he comes. This is also gonna finish the transportation task here. Wonderful. That's what I'm talking about. The next thing we need to take care of is the toy station. Let's try to do that here. Adding some floor. and you can go there. Still need some frames and panels. Inside the toy station we can only make one thing, and we can already see we're just missing the buttons. The buttons, I presume, are made in the wood shaping bench, so that's something else we have to make. Yes, I can definitely add one more here together with a storage bin. Said and done, got my new station. This here is going to be responsible for the buttons. It's a very easy recipe, just one fixing pack, not even worth mentioning. I even doubt we're going to need an upgrade for this guy. You're gonna grab as many fixing packs as you can, then you're gonna dump them in this machine. This results in one button, so we have to pick them up until hands full, and we're gonna dump them in here. So we can actually use 2 upgrades for this guy. Useful upgrades would be power to carry more items, as well as the sensor upgrade to pick up the buttons quicker. And just like that, we're ready to go, and we have everything available for us to build our first plush ponies. The question is just, can we do this with one single robot? We need 2 wool blankets. That is probably gonna fill us up. We're then gonna add them to the toy station. So pick up twice, add twice to the toy station. Then we need to pick up 1 thread right there. Add that to the station. Then we just need 2 wooden buttons and 4 pieces of straw. And there is our first plush toy. Wonderful. That means our last action is gonna be to pick up the plush toy, put it in the storage, and then rinse and repeat. And we can do it exactly with a brain upgrade that gives us an additional 8 kilobytes. And since this guy's gonna be running around a little bit, also a speed upgrade. Okay, go. We're gonna observe him at least once, just to make sure everything goes all right. I just have to make sure that I keep on producing the straw by sometimes emptying the cereal seed storage. Plush toys are being made. We also took care of the food, and that is everything, right? We already have 34 berry stews. That means technically we should be ready for our first upgrade here to the stone cottage. This is where the chimneys and the fireplaces come in. So maybe we didn't really have to make them en masse, but alas, now we got them. That is the second stage. Third stage is just gonna require a little bit of stone. Yes, look at that. It's coming along. More stone. This is even being built by my robots there. I assigned some of them to just dump materials on whatever blueprints they see. And that should be completed. Yes. No, actually there's another stage. Door frame and window frame. Thankfully, I already took care of those as well. Wonderful. Give me a completed cottage. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. And I think just to experiment around, we're gonna do 1 villager, 1 folk. I'm gonna grab this guy right here, put him over there. Okay, folk evolved. Whoa, look at that. They're now much bigger. Of course, they need new clothing and larger drinks. I think I need to replace the berry bots. They are kind of screwing up. Said and done. With the speed and brain upgrade, we now got just 1 single cook for the stewed berries, which is gonna go much quicker. Also, without the failures. This means, like so many other robots, we can take these guys and throw them out. Okay, wonderful. I'm now just finishing all of these tasks right here. It's just about feeding the folk and upgrading the housings, but once I've done that, you will see. And I might want to expand the crafting area to be able to clean this up a little bit and also move the clothing stuff that I have going on here on the top. Holy cow, I almost missed it, but we just reached stage 5 by completing all the contracts, and now we get a giant water wheel, so it's time for power. Completed the village stage, and now we're getting into the town stage. To expand your settlement into a town, you need to evolve all of your established industries and automate a basic healthcare system. Intriguing. Of course, many new tasks, as you can see, but also finally there's something I can do with all that wealth that has been accumulating. We want to upgrade the research station. There it is, already completed. Yes, research upgrade. Some farming technology, power as mentioned, pottery, metals, farming, storage. Ooh, better tools. I like that. And a bench. So, okay, we do indeed get some upgrades. Let's dive into research. Look at that. They are now at least 5k. Some of them are 25k. So we desperately needed to evolve our folk to make this even possible. But yeah, you can see now we have 4 huts and only one of them is working at level 3. 2 of them are actually at the moment working and they are not being fed until this storage here is emptied. I deleted my research bot, so we need to create another one either way. It was one of the old models. So this guy's gonna do the research, and for now we need to use up our old WAF that is still 100 worth. And so I'm just going to be doing that for now. Okay, back to rearranging everything. I didn't yet do too much because I had to prepare the huts, but now we should dive deep into research so we can actually supply these guys, maybe build a better kitchen, dedicate a better animal husbandry area, and then maybe expand this place to be the kitchen, for instance. That could be good, and then have our folks maybe residing here, so they're coming a little bit closer. We'll see. It will definitely take a while to rearrange everything. Okay, here we go, a little update, a few technologies later, and I started to build all the new buildings that I got in order to determine what I wanted to do next. I decided to dive a little bit into metallurgy. We are making the charcoal right here, which is simply made with 2 logs, and there's also the crude metal we're making on the other side, finally using the metal ore for something. I'm storing them currently in here. There's also a new tool that I made, however, it is not actually necessary, the pitchfork. It was necessary to craft my first hay bale here, and I'm letting the robots currently do it by basically just stabbing the cut grass with a pitchfork. This resulted in a hay bale that I could research here in the research station, and it actually gave me something. It gave me this little contraption, the hay baler, in which you can just put in 5 cut grass and then it gives you 2 hay bales. So that is a little bit of a bummer, especially because I automated it with the robot. So for now, I'm just gonna let it be, but later maybe I'm gonna change it when we need a huge amount of hay bales. Right now, all my industries are running quite well. The robots that you see here are new. That's the ones for the metal crafting. There are also more intermediate materials, such as this box frame and the triangle frame that I automated. Then there are all the grass and hay bale robots. Let's have a look at our new goals. For instance, we want to build a windmill and a belt linkage. The windmill I have prepared over here. Let's put it here for the building process. We need 4 box frames, which I can grab from here. So all of that stuff is available to me. The only thing I currently regret is automating the fireplace and the chimney. That was absolutely not necessary. I also have a couple of builder robots, so certain materials are being delivered automatically for things that I have to do often, such as grass or stone, planks and alike. Et voila, 1 windmill for me, please. Ooh, yeah. It seems to be charging up, already halfway full. Intriguing. Let's put it back there for a brief moment. And I just want to see what happens if I interact with it. Nothing. So we have to build the belt linkage. And then we have a building right here that is actually requiring the power. This also needs to be inside and on top of a floor. So let's just briefly try to set something up here. It's now on a floor and we can surround it with walls. By building the linkage, I got the plan completed and it yielded us the good sign with a decent working area. Now, will you look at that? As soon as it is close enough, it is linked to the building. This is great. Is it also? Yeah, okay. So it works quite in a straightforward way. The link is right over here. Let's see how far we can get away from the windmill. Yeah, just about 3 blocks or so. Either way, now that the building is powered, I can choose a bunch of recipes. We have the metal pole, the crude metal plate, and a metal bucket. Now, I presume the metal bucket is just a improved version of our current bucket. So for now, I'm gonna automate these 2 materials. We need an additional metal workstation, a little bit more space here. Let me just try to grab all of that and kind of rearrange it. Well, you know what? Let's automate the bucket right away as well. I'm gonna build 2 more crude metal stations. After all, I have all the ingredients. Okay, will you look at that? I think I found an arrangement so we can have 1 windmill powering all 3 of these guys. Power supply status seems to be fine. I'm not sure once the machines are running, but let's program them. This one is going to be the metal pole. Next one is going to be the plate, and the next one is going to be the bucket. Now we just have to move this somewhere. We have the space for instance, right here. I would like it to be somewhat nearby my stuff. I kind of want to put it here, but there's this little stick in the way. It's just ridiculous. So let's try that again. Put you right there. Wonderful. Okay, now we just need to hire a robot to do each of these tasks and we should be okay. Maybe I'm gonna upgrade some of my robots to use the better bucket, but we'll see. Okay, I figured out a few things. For instance, I assigned all of my builders to this building area sign, so I can just go ahead, carry it somewhere else if I need something to be built. I already kind of knew that, but so far I only had designated areas. So for the building site, it actually makes sense to be able to change that. that. Also, the barn, I figured out what you can do with that, and that is multiply animals. So I can choose either cows or sheep. I have to add 2 sheep plus 3 hay bales, and I will be getting out 3 sheep. I also installed the crude shearing shed here, so as soon as the sheep are ready to be sheared, which seems to be more often than usual, I can just go ahead and shear 3 at a time and create much more fleece. I would like to make a little bit more progress with the cooking and everything, but it feels so unorganized at the moment. I almost feel like rearranging a few things once again to accommodate our new situation, especially with the power. So we not only have the windmill, I also built one of these giant water wheels. It seems to be 3 times as efficient. This windmill actually doesn't provide enough power to power all of these 3 machines, but you know, over time I'm just making enough. Right now I think I'm mainly lacking the metal ore production, so I just have one miner taking care of that. But yeah, with all the added intermediate materials and the new tools that are on the horizon, I feel like rearranging a few things. Maybe instead of rearranging it, we could just use this as our main infrastructure right now and just start a completely new settlement somewhere else. Like somewhere I have a lot of space. We can clean up the rocks here. Let me just explore towards this side. And now also with the carts, and maybe in the future there are also trains. I'm not so sure. You know, here we have access to clay and metal ores. There's lots and lots of building space right here. Maybe I'm gonna make a little center area. And I was thinking I could have a huge storage room and then just distribute the items accordingly. So I have robots going back and forth with carts and everything. That would be great, but I feel like it will almost take me as much time to reorganize everything, especially because I programmed the robots in a way so that they break every time I move something. It's not that they are programmed badly, but until hands are full, so whenever I stop them in their program right here, they are not going to move back to the storage. So I move the storage and they will never be able to complete that code, and then they have something in their hands. So yeah, I'm a little bit reluctant of moving everything. I'm basically just gonna complete everything that I can. For instance, some crude flour made. We can totally do that. All I have to do is add this machine right here that requires 2 cereal seeds. Let me go ahead and do that just so we see what we end up with and how we have to store it. There it is, stored in a normal crate. Let's let the robots build the crate here. In the meantime, I'm making another robot and bring him over. This is gonna be cooking crude flour. We want to pick up 2 cereal seeds. Actually, we can make this more efficient just until our hands are full and then dump them into the machine until hands are empty. We're then gonna pick up the crude flour and we want to pick up 4 of them. That's how many we're gonna produce, and just store them in here. Store until hands are empty. Okay, I think that's looking good. Rinse and repeat. You can go. You know what? I forgot to give him the upgrades, power and search upgrade or sensor upgrade, because now he's only got 3 bags, which is bad. And there we go. The plan is completed. I'm just gonna complete all the little plans that I can, depending on my current infrastructure. We can probably do some livestock stuff. Clothing, no, that's all advanced stuff. Leech cot. Also pharmacy, quite interesting, and brickworks. We need a good clay station. Do I already have this unlocked? No, we got the loom, hat making bench, and a sewing station. There's also the hay bale stuff and a kitchen table and a crude oven. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be including that in the new base. In the meantime, there's still some stuff we can explore, I presume. Yeah, currently I don't have the metal ore, so let's switch it to storage technology. We might be getting some good stuff from that. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab one of these trusty box frames. Add them to the research table and research away. Alrighty, I don't even know how many hours later it is, but I'm so freaking happy. Look at this. This is my ghost town, my abandoned part of the settlement. Yeah, we had some good times, got ourselves started, but it was time to start another part of the city. And look at this, it is so much more organized. Let me give you the tour. Layout-wise, I have 2 main streets with the most advanced yellow brick road that increases the running speed by 100%. We have our wood collection as well as the sheep and cows right here. There's some smaller areas for the textile factory. Right here we have the current toy factory, and then we also have another textile factory with the looms and everything. I have a little clay deposit here that I'm using to build all of the various things, such as clay pots. We have the bricks and also the new roof tiles and the large dishes. Then we have a crafting area right here and there with our main storages, with all the building materials and everything. I also reorganized the bots. So we now have a category of builders. So far I covered about 23 materials. Some of them are doubled, but I can basically just place something down and then my builders are going to build it for me. I don't have to lift a finger anymore. For instance, right now I'm building these 2 brick houses and currently we're just missing the bricks. So this guy right here is cooking up the bricks and then one of the other robots is just creating the raw bricks before they are cooked up here in the kiln. So this is currently what I'm lagging behind. Another thing that I implemented are the guys shipping, for instance, the stone or the clay back and forth from the deposit all the way back to the storage. And you can see we have upgraded storages. We can store 1000 clay pieces. Also, these guys here are upgraded. They can now contain 500 of the large materials. I also decided to store the stone in a large crate as well as the fixing packs because I need a lot of those. Now, of course, you can also see I have lots and lots of windmills. The reason for that is because I switched to metal tools. So all of these metal stations are now crafting the metal tools, which last longer or are at least a little bit faster in use. There's also a bench saw that I'm using in order to create the wooden beams right here. But you can see all of the power lines right here. So I'm leading the power through the entirety of the city so I can use it everywhere I need to. For instance, these guys right here, the sewing stations, they also require some power. Something I don't have a separate building for yet, a new category, is the Alchemy station. I had to get some leeches for that. In order to get the leeches, all you have to do is catch them in the swamp. So right here, this guy is just using the hand net in order to catch the leeches. Then they're being brought over to this storage and another guy is shipping them back and forth. As a matter of fact, this guy right here is still waiting to fill these up. Now, what is the holdback? I think, yeah, we're missing the clay jars at the moment because, well, clay is the one thing that I'm really missing. Wait a second, maybe something with the program here is wrong. Medicinal leech, what are you doing? Add to Alchemy station. You grabbed too many buckets. So somewhere I have an error in the code. Oh yeah, and of course also I have large storages for the fresh water as well as the milk. The milk I'm getting from these stations. So whenever the cows ate enough, like I can fill this trough here with hay bales that I'm making from this station. Where is it? Somewhere there's a station. Oh yes, right here, the hay baler. So I can just put in some grass and it will create the hay that I can use to feed my cows, which then is gonna result in some dung that I can use to fill up the fertilizer storage, that I can use to fill up the tree seedling storage. So it's all very easy recipes, but there are immense crafting chains now developing, as you can see. And it just makes the gameplay so satisfying when you see all the robots shipping things back and forth. Like this robot with the cart here transporting the metal ore. Ah, I see the error is I never retrieved the bucket from the inventory. So I should be able to do that if I just pick something up, hit record, and then add the retrieve command. Oh, I could have done that here. I'm so silly, but there we go. The medicinal thing should now work out for us. Wonderful. We just reached the next stage of building the brick house here, which is going to be an upgrade to those guys. Now, I did research everything, so I'm currently not bothering to entertain the folks, but we're going to change that in a moment. Now, I decided to supply the chimneys and such myself. So I'm gonna put that right there. Another chimney for you. Now we need mortar and 20 or 32 bricks. Holy cow. That might still take a while. However, we can go ahead and start rearranging a few things. For instance, I would like this flooring to go so I can fit my new house. Yes, will you look at that? It is just amazing. Now, when it comes to the kitchen, this is our new kitchen with all the food in line. So we're starting with the berries, getting to the spice berries, getting to the stewed berries, then together with the honey, getting to the berry jam, and then finally there is the berry pie that I'm currently making. To do so, you first need to create butter with the butter churn using milk, and then you need to make pastries using butter, fresh water, and crude flour, and then you need to make the berry pie using the pastry and the berry jam, and then finally you put a large clay dish and the berry pie raw into the oven. So each individual step may be simple, however, to get to the final stuff, some of the professions have to work together. By the way, it's now time to move one of our guys all the way over. Let me actually get Kaiserschmarrn. it is Kaiserschmarrn here. Okay, let's get you in there. And the folk has evolved. Now, they not only need new food, new clothing, and new toy, but they also need some medicinal stuff. You can see this guy is currently sick. Yeah. One thing I didn't mention is the new toy. We had the plush pony for the previous stage, and now we have a toy horse and a cart. And of course, it is using the plush pony. I really like that chain of crafting, so most of your previous crafting chains don't just get obsolete. By the way, now we need to reactivate our folk robots. I haven't really done that. All the other robots I put into a logical category, and overall, without the builder robots, I have 139 robots so far. The new clothing, by the way, is the coat, and just look at the size of the coat. This guy right here is carrying the coat. It is just absolutely amazing. And the coat, how did we make that? Right here, we needed the rope from the previous stage, then a Bulrush cloth, wooden buttons, and Bulrush threads. And we were able to upgrade the production of those using the looms instead of these guys here, the crude clothing stations. So without any delays, let's start with the first robot here, feeding. And I'm actually gonna completely change these guys because I rearranged most of the stuff. To feed my folk, I'm going to upgrade to the berry pie. That's the level 4 food. And we're gonna go ahead, feed that to the folk over here and just define the area. And then I'm gonna do this for all of the things that we need, the clothing, the toys, and the alchemy. And once that is done, we can see how long all of these things are going to last. And also, I really like that the robots are preferring the fast road right here. So I didn't have to make it 3 wide, but they're just using this road here to be 100% faster, which doesn't really seem to help with the berry pie, but alas, the robots are gonna be faster. I'm the only one that is so weak and slow. And there we go. We fed them. I'm just gonna adjust the area. This should be good. For now, we're just gonna go with 4 houses. Something else I figured out is you can control click something to mark it, and then once you hit the repeat button, it is automatically being enclosed, and it's also using the logical thing until hands are full, and then I can mark all of these guys and do the same thing, and it's automatically set to until hands are empty, and then hit this again to loop forever. Now, to be able to carry 2 cakes, we're gonna be needing one of these guys, a power upgrade as well as a speed upgrade. Power and speed, and that means you can go, and we've done the feeding guy. Now, let me just do all of the other guys, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I mean, look at the size of this coat. I just love it. There's the final product. Great. Okay, now they can actually get to work and produce some wealth that is worth 10,000. So the next stage is always times 10. I now also need 1 robot that is cleaning up the dishes. I'm just gonna collect all the dishes and bring them back to the storage. So I think what I'm gonna do is set up a larger storage for my dishes here, but I want them to be cleaned up. So this guy right here should only produce more dishes if the storage is less than halfway full. That means this should only happen until halfway full. Let's see, until this is more than halfway full. So this guy right here, and I need to set the percentage here 50%. Okay, and then we want to rinse and repeat that forever. This way, theoretically, I should never have too many dishes, and once they are used up, new ones are going to be produced. Last but not least, I need someone to gather up the wood. And eventually I will be storing it in here, though I first have to use up the 38 that I got there. Theoretically, we should now complete all of the contracts here as soon as we fed some more folks, gave them the clothing and everything. And then we also need to shelter 4 of these bastards. So right now we are waiting for the roof tiles because I don't have a robot yet responsible to build the roof tiles. Considering I will not have to do this all the time, it's probably not worth it, but there is one of the contracts completed. So I think for now I'm just gonna finish this building myself by applying the roof tiles there. And there it is. Okay, there's one more stage. There are 7 stages for this build. And the last one requires some door frames and window frames, which I also have robots that are gonna automatically come and build it. Another completed house, we're gonna add that right there. And I guess just invite one more citizen. And we should be seeing, yeah, look at that. The toy horse is already coming along. We're just waiting for the pie as well as the code. There should be a code. Come on. Yeah, look at that. And then finally the medicine. Wonderful. Okay, robots are doing a phenomenal job. And this guy now also produces the 10k wealth. There's my 3rd brick house. Wonderful. Who are you? Pizel, welcome to your new home. I hope you enjoy it. And that means I need one final brick house to complete all of the contracts and also this stage. Entertainment category is now completed. Wonderful. And the clothing category also completed. Honestly, I can't help myself. This game is so good and addictive. So every few years, I can see myself definitely playing through a campaign here. Replayability factor is really high, especially once you went through all the technology stages and kind of know what you're in for and what you have to anticipate space and layout wise. I'm done mostly building everything. I still want them to build this part here, so I'm moving my building area sign. Wonderful. And we can place the last house. Okay, looking good. I'm gonna bring the last resident into their housing, and that is gonna complete the official shelter planning. I'm gonna pause and replay my builders so they all go back to their stations and are not standing in the way. Plan complete, and we can move on to the next stage. Oh yes. Was that a backpack upgrade? Oh geez. Look at that. You healed your sickly folk and evolved your automated industries to build a town. Wonder, a catapult. You earned a special blueprint for a new wonder. So can we ship materials with that? Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. But there we go. Second to last stage, stage 7 city. City folk need educating, automate bookmaking and homeschooling. Evolve your industries to build better houses and make better food, clothes, toys and medicine. So as expected, we have to continue with the crafting chains, and this time around, I guess it's going to be even more complicated. So before we do anything else, I'm gonna get into the research station and upgrade this guy with shaped blocks and fresh water. I don't have a fresh water builder, but I don't think that's necessary. I'm just gonna bring it myself. Research upgraded. Wonderful. Robotics. Ooh, better robots. Metal technology, transportation, power, farming, cooking, clothing, and leisure. This looks intriguing. Everything gets a little bit more complex. Let's start with a simple metalworks research so we can use up our old WAF. And once that is done, used up the old WAF, we're going to be collecting the 10k WAF and storing it in this crate. But yeah, you can see we will have to expand this by quite a bit still. Alrighty, I am back. It is now hours later. It is even 2 weeks later since the last recording, because I've been spending a week with my family at the beach. Either way, I decided to progress all the way through the next stage. It had mainly to do with the metal crafting. Since I tuned in the last with you, all of these robots got added to the team that you can see right here in this list. So let's just go through all of the additions and changes. First and foremost, our previous recipe in the kitchen has been replaced. I was forced to make this a little bit bigger here. Instead of the berry pie, we're now baking the berry cake. So these two kitchen tables here actually have become useless for the time being, at least, because we're now using the berry jam that we're getting in order to create the berry cake. In order to get the cake batter for it, we had to build it here with good flour, butter, egg, honey, and a large clay dish. The good flour is made over here in the grist mill, which is an upgrade of the rotary quern. Now, all of these level 6 items actually need to be placed in a large crate. They do not fit in a small one. That is the update in the kitchen department. I also had to make a little addition to get flowers. Now I see something is horribly going wrong here. I think I have to change my seed guy here, the flower seed guy, to only plant the flowers when the storages are filled up a certain percentage. So instead of the storage being completely full, we just take a percentage. Let's say 50% should be good. And so less flowers will be planted. The main addition of this stage you can find right here. First and foremost, the upgrade of the regular, what is this? The metal workstation is right here, called a steam hammer. Now, if I check the recipes, you can see lots and lots of new recipes, such as the metal gear, the axle, flywheels, and everything right here. I only automated the items that I need on a regular basis so far, and then everything else I'm making in this steam hammer. Now, the biggest advancement in relation to metal is this thing right here, the stationary steam engine. It does require lots of materials, but this thing is capable of producing lots and lots of power, much more than one of these windmills. We also entered the stage of the third type of robot. So far, I didn't build one of the Mark III robots, but we got all of the robots, including all of the upgrades here, and I intend over time to replace most of the robots. Maybe some of them can be reprogrammed, because now we have more kilobytes available to us. Next up, we have a secondary alchemy station that is building the placebo out of the medicinal leech. For this one, we needed the flowers, and there's also a little bit of water. And you can already see these huge jugs that need to be brought over here. In order to get the folks happy at level 6, we needed a coat and scarf, as well as a simple book, the placebo I just spoke about, and a upgraded toy. The upgraded toy is also made in this toy station right here, and it simply requires the previous materials that we already made and some additional wooden materials, so that wasn't really hard. However, new in town is the paper mill as well as the printing press. Inside the paper mill, I can make paper using log and fresh water, and then inside the printing press, we're using the paper and some ink to make the simple book for education. To make the ink, we needed to add another cauldron using the charcoal and some fresh water. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I had to tap into a coal deposit in order to supply this stationary steam engine. I've also already built a couple of these mansions. We're gonna build one together because it is quite an engaging process. We have the first stage right here using some rough stones. Let's bring the additional rough stone. Oh yeah, and also look at my guy. I now have a trike as an upgraded speed boost and a super backpack, which gives me a total of 6 backpack slots. I decided to not automate the fireplace and the chimney. Instead, I'm just gonna build that myself, but we have builders for all of the other materials, including the mortar and everything. The chimneys I'm just gonna build right here on the masonry bench myself. We just need a bit of mortar that I can access right there. And since I now have a total of 10 slots, I can also fulfill that just grabbing the 10 stones. And this is gonna be the last mansion that I have to build, so it's just 2 more fireplaces and 4 more chimneys. There is the next stage of the mansion, and look at these materials. We also need a metal girder. Let's bring this over here for a brief moment. Actually, it's just 1 girder. I'm just gonna pick that up even though I'm quite slow. But in the meantime, my builder bots can bring the rest of the materials. I've also been thinking about the layout concept a little bit, and I think if I would do this all over again, I would go with something more like this, where I have a huge storage area all the way around a building area. So whenever I need something built, I can just place the blueprint in here, and then my builder bots are gonna build it, and I can move it to its final location. But right here, I would have a storage system for all of the materials. The storage system would stretch across at least 2 of these corners, and then I would have various pathways going out to some districts, let's say, and the individual districts are then gonna take care of a certain aspect of the game. And in the meantime, we have some robots that are just gonna bring the materials to the various districts where they are needed. So whenever I have a building station, such as a good workbench or whatever, let's just take the square frame here as an example. I would be starting with the 2 storages for poles and fixing pegs right next to it, and then with a storage for the square frames themselves. So the robot that is actually building the square frames is always gonna be nearby, and the materials as well. And then we just have additional robots delivering the materials back and forth to the main storage and the storages where they are required. I think this way I would be losing much less time at the moment. The major bottlenecks are that the robots do take a long time to travel and get all the materials, and therefore the crafting recipe isn't being done frequently enough. But yeah, I think we're almost ready. I'm gonna take all of my villagers here, the folks, and bring them over to their new location. So you go right here, you all get a new house. I've also completed this stage's signs, and what we got here that is noteworthy is the train assembly. So now we can actually build tracks and trains. Now I don't really see how this is extremely useful considering we have most of the materials somewhat nearby, and so far it was absolutely enough just shipping the materials back and forth with the carts. But I suspect if you're playing the other modes, the enlightenment mode, you can take things to another level. But right here, I just need to reach a certain goal, and it was never really necessary to go crazy in terms of numbers. What I'm producing right now is enough. Like some things I had to expand, such as the berry bushes. We were not growing enough berries to keep up, but now we're already good. Yeah, you don't really have to do things on a large scale. Just one machine for each material is usually enough. There are certainly exceptions, but I suspect the enlightenment mode, not 100% sure, is going to be a little bit more engaging when it comes to taking things to the next level. Either way, the next stage of the mansion is completed, and now we have to bring more bricks, mortar, wooden beams, fixing pegs, and planks, so I can let the robots do that. We are at stage 6 of the build. Right here I need 2 additional chimneys, which luckily I already built. There it is, already completed. Stage 7 is going to include box frames, triangles, planks, and roof tiles. All materials that should be delivered automatically. I almost missed the last stage. We need 2 more metal girders and the mansion will be completed. Wonderful, I got my 5 mansions placed. Now I just need to make sure that my folk robots are getting updated. So everything that has to do with cleanup, for instance, we want to increase the size of the area. Then clothes need to be updated. Instead of moving to the coat storage, we now want to move over to the coat and scarf storage. And then we also want to take from that and then of course just go about it normally. Same thing for the feeding robot. We have to upgrade this. We now want to go for the berry cake. So update that storage and we're good to go. The medicine also needs to be updated. We're now want to take from this storage here, the placebo, and bring that to the folks. Lastly, the toys need to be upgraded to toy horse and carriage. Oh no, I just see I also need to update the code here. It's not a brick house, but it's a mansion. Oh no, look at that. I can actually update the code just by going to the mansion and taking something from it. Okay, nice. We seem to be getting the updated coats and scarves. That is already incoming. And there is the horse and carriage also arriving. So this guy here is going to be first probably. I just need 1 more robot to take care of education. So that's going to be, let's just do education. And all we need to do is pick up a simple, huge book and bring it over to the villagers. I'm still on my way. By the way, the robots are much faster with the heavy stuff. Oh yeah, and talking about heavy stuff, the catapult is just absolutely amazing. It has quite a large range and you can just shoot everything. You just place it on there. It's not very quick, so it has to reload. I'm going to show you later. But there it is. We now educated 1 folk and we also fed 3 folk, which is great. That's another task done and stage 7 food is completed. What else do we have to do? We still have to give them toys and some clothing, and we also have to give them the next type of medicine. No, never mind. I have to give the robots the speed upgrade to make them actually faster. Totally forgot about that. Okay, updating the code wasn't as easy as I thought because there's always something specific with the folk, like you have to find the nearest hungry folk to feed them, or the nearest naked folk to clothe them, or in this case the nearest poorly folk in order to heal them. Okay, there it is. The clothing is finally done, just the entertainment contract to go in order to dive into the next stage. Actually, there are 3 more contracts to go. For education, we also need to make the 100k WAV. Babka right here is actually the first guy with the 100k WAV, so that is kind of exciting. I'm ready to go into the next stage. We now have 2 mansions at level 6 and this one is producing the first 100k WAV. Nice. That means I can update my WAF pickup guy right there with the 100k, and that should be everything. I've never tested the besom broom. I think we can just use it to clean up the items. Yeah, that's actually nice. I could hire a robot to just keep things clean a little bit. The medicine or health plan is also completed. All the plans are completed. Ah, this is good. This feels really good. Stage 7 completed. Look at my happy folk. Yeah, I should probably give them a little bit more room. But there we have it. The ancient stone circle unlocked. Allows you to control the speed of time itself. Okay. Completed stage 7 city, and now we're in stage 8 where we have to build, holy cow, castles. This is it. Time to maximize your settlement expansion and automate a metropolis. Your refined folk expect only the best. You fed their bodies and minds. Now enrich their souls with art to keep them content. So there is something additional we have to take care of, and that is art, including new types of farming, such as the silkworms. In terms of education, we have to upgrade that as well. And then I'm assuming there's also other things we have to upgrade. But let's have a look at the research here. We need to upgrade the research table itself. Research upgraded. That was actually rather easy. We get, yeah, more cooking technology, animal breeding, clothing, culture, communication, health. There are pills now. Leisure technologies, top toys, and more transportation technology. Cool, so we'll have to go through many additions. Maybe I'm gonna rearrange a couple of things, or maybe I'm just gonna play through the stage in order to finish the game and see the final necessities. So with a subsequent playthrough, I could potentially optimize a lot of things. Alright, here we go, here we are. I decided once again to skip the entire stage because it is more of the same. Of course, it does get progressively more complicated. Well, not really, but it is more crafting chains. The thing is, in the last stage, I very soon realized, at least in this mode, I don't see an incentive to continue. I mean, the research was done with the WAF, mostly that I got from the previous stage. So there's no more research to be done, and the WAF that I'm currently getting from the last stage is basically for nothing. So why am I even doing this? I have no idea. What is the higher purpose of this last stage? Also, the incremental end stage is kind of missing. There's barely anything that I have to double up on, except maybe the rough stone blocks. I had to have another robot taking care of that, so I get it faster to build it for the castles. It's also a requirement to actually repair the stuff. But that brings up another question. It seems as though the hard rock masses, they are a limited resource. I cannot get it from anywhere else other than these rocks. And even though we do have large deposits of them, eventually I'm gonna run out. So of course that isn't before I finish the game, which is now almost completely done. But yeah, let me quickly introduce you to the few things that I changed here. For instance, we have the ancient stone circle, and it literally allows you to speed up the time, which is absolutely handy. It was really handy when I was waiting for the rough stone to be collected. There's another room here with a separate industry. First and foremost, I have my toy train right here that is simply using some of the materials and metals we collected previously. I also added a upgraded charcoal and metal furnace. The metal furnace is really important because you get double the output. Then I have this silkworm station that we get from the mulberry trees. All we have to do is whack this with a mullet. We get the seeds that we can put into the silkworm station together with the silkworm, and they are gonna turn into these cocoons. And then once we get the cocoons, there are some moths just flying over back to the trees, and this is basically the entire cycle of this. Together with the spinning mule right here, we can then make the silk thread from the silkworm cocoons. We can use the silk thread in order to make the silk cloth, which we then can use in order to make the 3-piece suit, which is the level 7 suit for my villagers here. There's also an additional requirement, the cultured requirement, so we have to have a portrait for them. Right here we can use a canvas, a bunch of paint, and the first type of folk waff in order to make a portrait. The canvas is made in a good workbench, simply using a square frame and bulrush cloth. I then have a separate villager here that I'm just feeding in order to get the first type of waff. And finally, all the way over here, I have my paint station. I added a bunch of flowers. I didn't really take care of it because I didn't really see the higher purpose in continuing right now and optimizing, because there's no goal to work towards. But maybe I got that wrong. We'll see once we complete the game. Either way, we have these 3 alchemy stations that are taking care of the paints using the flowers, a little bit of water, an egg, and a metal bucket. The metal bucket I'm actually getting back after crafting it right here. So I have an additional robot taking care of the buckets and bringing them back to the original station here, the storage bin. I'm then storing the paint right here, and one of the robots is building the portrait and the canvas. And then of course we have another robot bringing it over to the castle. Another thing that was really easy to accomplish is the encyclopedia, using 2 simple books, 2 paper and 2 ink, so nothing new. We didn't even have to build another industry for that. And of course this is the upgraded education item for my folks. So now if we grab one of these guys, my robots should theoretically take care of them. There's the portrait tagging along, for instance, and over time this guy then should be upgraded. We just completed the art studio task. There's also a toy train now arriving, and soon enough we should have some food. Oh yeah, I should be talking about the food because I had to implement something new there as well. But there's the toy stage completed, and here we can see the very Danish tagging along, which is made right here. I had to add a good dough kitchen table. The good dough is made with crude dough and good flour. Next up we had to cook the berry cakes, an egg, a good dough and some butter. And that was everything. So also a very easy upgrade compared to the previous stage. From the looks of it, the encyclopedia guy is now on its way. It looks like the robots cannot supply one single folk at the same time. They just do it one after another. By the way, maybe to speed things up, I'm gonna bring over another castle, so more stuff is being brought along, and we can finally complete the game. I've also been producing a whole bunch of these WAF that are worth 1 million science points, but it is absolutely not necessary. I mean, there's nothing else to research. I didn't even get to use one of these 1 million WAF points. So why am I doing this? This is such a weird ending to a game. This last stage, I just don't get it. Another plan completed, the clothing one. Oh nice, the portrait is actually visible here. That's so sweet. There are now the pills tagging along together with some more food. And oh yeah, by the way, there's another something that I don't get. For instance, why do I have 4 upgrade slots, but only really 2 upgrade items? I mean, this could be my silliness of not seeing some of the upgrades, but I don't get it. And the other thing is, how the heck would you even have the need to implement a train system? I don't get it. Maybe this mode is just completely different to what I was expecting from the end game, and the enlightenment mode would be the one where you incrementally boost all of your economies to go crazier and crazier and supply more and more villagers. But this one here seems to be pretty straightforward. Once we completed these 2 pinned plans, I wonder what happens. Are we just going to complete the game? That could very well be. And therefore, I would say the enlightenment mode is then the better mode in order to really dive deep into the game and actually take care of your industries. Because yeah, knowing that the game will end very soon, I just didn't see even a reason to upgrade to the 3rd type of robot. Like there's an entire branch of robots and upgrades we didn't get to use because it was absolutely not necessary. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna dive into another playthrough using the enlightenment mode. I'm really curious to know what that would entail for the end game. Good, now we need some more pills and we need 1 more education boost. Let me just go ahead and pick up the last guy here. So my robots are getting active and we are gonna complete the game. Bring this useless WAF 1 million just going to waste. There's 14 million WAF here. What can I say? Education completed. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I think this is it. Of course, the pills were the last thing to be delivered, but there we go. First full settlement. That was an achievement. There's the final slab. What is happening now? We get a nice pan. Okay, congratulations. Metropolis complete. You successfully set up and automated all the industries necessary to run an Autonauts metropolis. Now you should build a spaceport and take on off-world jobs. What? Here's a fancy medal. You earned it. Okay, nice. So that's it. No new pinned plans and nothing to research right there. Yeah, the WAF was totally for nothing. I mean, they should have priced the research a little bit higher then. But yeah, here we go. I think we're gonna leave it at that. And if I pick this game up ever again, maybe you even want me to, I would go through the enlightenment mode so we can really dive deep into expanding and sizing the base a little bit differently. For one, I would like to see the need for trains. Like, it was absolutely not necessary in this playthrough. But imagine we had several districts, like taking care of the stone over here. I don't know, just delivering all the items, maybe somewhere have a huge farming area. But honestly, to get through this game mode, we only really had to have this amount of farms. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. So with a subsequent playthrough of the enlightenment mode, I'm pretty sure some aspects of this are gonna change and we could take it to the next level. Either way, let me know what you think about the game. I totally enjoy this. It's absolutely addictive to do and really satisfying. But with that out of the way, I would say we're gonna wrap it up at this point. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.